Hello. How is everyone doing? It is so cold in the studio today. While I was typing to everyone in the chat, I literally couldn't feel my fingers, which I was telling Quiet. Anyone from the East Coast would probably think I'm being ridiculous because it's 57, and I know for some that's actually not cold, but for me, with my California, Los Angeles blood, I am freezing today. How is everyone doing? Yeah, I'm wearing the Power to Survivors sweatshirt. It's keeping me as warm as it possibly can. I'm still cold. I'm still cold. It's so nice to see everyone here. Hi, Becca. Hi, kid. Who else is in here? Hi, Mom. I see some people in here. Cheyenne, Steven. Is it Ida? Ida? Hi. Hi, everyone. And then I see, is it that Claudia kid? Let's go. Wow, there is a lot to get into today. So Tuesday was my first day streaming for over 3 hours, which I didn't even know if I was gonna be able to do that, but I did it. We did it together. And so for those who are just coming in, I've decided to, only really stream Tuesdays and Thursdays and put all of those hours into just 2 days. So we have a lot of time today to get into everything. Hi, David Kaplan. Hello, Alexa. I love your channel so much. I was wondering what you thought of Britney apologizing to Justin. We're getting into that today. I don't think she had to. You think someone got to her? Power to Survivors. Definitely gonna get into that. I'm so deeply disappointed by Justin Timberlake once again, just being a straight up bro. Power to Survivors. I quit my ABUSIVE job and took for my passion now. Congratulations, sweet music woman. That's amazing to hear. And you've been a member for 4 months. Thank you so much for being part of the channel. It's so nice to see you here. Yeah, I woke up. Oh my God, Melanie. Like the first person that I texted today when I saw on my Instagram stories about Justin Timberlake. What's so funny about it was when I saw him on my feed, I thought I read it wrong. I thought he apologized. So I was like, oh wow, Justin Timberlake apologized, and whoa, this is a big deal. And then I reread it and I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about? It is awful. It is so bad. And then the first person I text was Melanie. I was like, did you see this? What the hell is going on? And, okay, Hollywood is not good at apologies. And honestly, I would say the world at large, apologies. Oh, wait. Wait, speaking of apologies that were not made, I found out yesterday that Chrissy Carlson Romano removed, this is getting just weird. But she removed the beginning of her, whatever, the spa hold music intro. She removed it, and now it just goes straight into her introduction of her another problematic guest. And so that was pretty weird. It's like, wait, so you went through all the effort to delete that intro, but still haven't put any effort into apologizing. And now circling back to Britney Spears, I'm sure most people here know, and if you didn't, Britney Spears apologized to me. Britney Spears. And that is literally the only, let me think about it for a second. That is legit the only apology I have ever received in Hollywood. Which doesn't make Hollywood look too good. Doesn't make Hollywood look too good. And, when I think back at what happened with Britney Spears, there have been a lot of bad things that have happened to me in Hollywood. And I deserve, I would say many apologies. And none of those individuals or institutions like Nickelodeon have offered that. And Britney Spears did. And not only did she do a public apology, I was actually speaking to someone last night about this, that people think accountability is some type of achievement, and it's not. It's not an achievement. It's part of being human. It's just part of being human. And so it's not about making this grandiose statement or flexing that you've made an apology, right? It's just about doing the right thing. And honestly, most of the time, once we do apologize for something that we've done wrong or where we've made a mistake, or, our intentions were different than the impact, impact versus intention, we feel so much better after apologizing. I think we build it up in our head, and we're like, ooh, does this mean I'm bad forever? And like, does this mean like, this person's not gonna find me lovable? Am I admitting to being bad? And accountability is a practice. And so, once we do apologize, I feel like the weight is off of our shoulders, and to be able to allow ourselves to grow is one of the best parts about being human. And so Britney Spears apologized to me privately, and then she apologized to me publicly. And, she didn't have to do, accountability has to be consensual. A person has to want to make the apology. And Britney did that. And then not only did she do that, she then apologized again. I always, by the way, I have this book. I'm never, ever
locked and loaded.
Totally. I am never removing this book from my desk in here because it's so inspirational. And, I always say this, but hearing, hearing from a survivor of this industry, instead of hearing about the survivor through media outlets that, in my opinion, are extremely corrupt, is powerful. And boy, did Britney Spears take her power back in such a beautiful and inspiring way. And I consumed this book in, I feel like it was 48 hours. I did the audiobook actually, because I'm a parent. I had a newborn at the time and I could not read a book. So I listened to it. And, this was so deeply inspiring to me that I have it here at all times. And so, she apologized to me in the book too. Like, I've gotten multiple apologies. And then she sent me the book. I know that probably they're like, what's the big deal, Alexa? But it's a big deal. It is a big deal because I haven't gotten any apologies in Hollywood ever. Industry people specifically do not apologize. And so this was a very big deal for me. That was, childhood trauma, and it healed me. And so
Becca asking what page number.
Oh, wait, I don't know the page number.
We'll figure it out, Becca. We'll figure it out.
We're gonna figure, wait, Melanie would know, actually. I feel like Melanie's gonna know. I feel like, was it chapter 15? Or why do I feel like, no, maybe it wasn't chapter 15. Melanie, you're gonna have to let me know which page it was. God, I should know this. But see, again, it was an audiobook situation, so I have no idea what the page is. But she did that. And so then I think about Britney, and it's like, I haven't seen anyone publicly apologize to her. And boy, does she deserve many apologies. And what's, and I'm just saying this, I'm not speaking for Britney, because Britney, like, who is this? Josh, member for 3 months, the dinner party. Josh, 3 months. Thank you so much for being here. Such a big deal. This book is so iconic and makes sense. Alexa is in it. Okay, page number. Let me make sure. Melanie knows, but it's double checking. But when I saw that Britney the other day said, I'm sorry if I hurt anyone's feelings. I'm totally paraphrasing here, so forgive me. But essentially, she said, I'm really sorry if I hurt anyone's feelings. You're like, wow, this is someone who is so self-aware and compassionate and just all around a sweet soul, that she went out of her way to, you know, state that her intention was never to hurt anyone's feelings. And for me personally, my perspective of it all, I mean, this is her story and she has every right to tell it. And it wasn't like she told it in a way that was spiteful. She told it in a way that was truthful, vulnerable, and honest. And I find that to be very honorable. And so the fact that she said that recently, I feel like, was that a few days ago? I feel like that was a few days ago. And I was shocked by it, honestly, because I didn't think she had to apologize to anyone, but she did. And it shows what kind of person she is. And it shows where her heart is at. And I really admired that, per usual with her. But then I wake up this morning. Wait, where is this bro? Okay, wait. Let me know if we can, let's share my screen because this is unreal. Oh, I'm sorry, what? The quote, "I like to take this opportunity to apologize." That's why I read it wrong. I was like, oh shit. And then it goes to absolutely effing nobody. What is going on? Justin. Oh, Justin. Justin's definitely never watching this. But Justin, you know, actually, let's go full screen for a second because I do want to remind everyone about a video that I did not too long ago. God, time is flying. Where are we? Oh, it's February 1st today. Welcome a new month. Okay, so I did a video, this was like months ago, about the Timberland situation, which I know that we do have a soundbite of that. She's just a baby. But Timberland had the nerve to publicly say that someone should put a muzzle on Britney Spears. What era are we in that men feel like it is chill to just, I don't know, say that at random? Yes, that's exactly that. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? This is the problem. And now you are participating and complicit when it comes to the problem. And I said that, you know, Britney Spears was in a abusive conservatorship for what was it? 13 years. Her freedoms were taken away from her. I mean, there's a part in the book where she talks about not being able to, was it a hamburger that she couldn't have or chocolate? Yeah. Chocolate, hamburger. I mean,
She just wanted a hamburger or something. I remember
yes,
hearing that or something.
Correct. And she wasn't able to have it. And these are, I mean, when I read that, that brought tears to my eyes because the fact that you see a person wanting something so simple, a burger, chocolate, and it being denied to her, you know, that is just so deeply upsetting. And she has gone through a lot, and boy, has she prevailed, and boy, has she inspired so many people out there, so many survivors out there. And she shed a serious light on abusive conservatorships and what a conservatorship is and the roots of it, the history of it, the exploitation. And we know with Cher recently, Melanie's been covering this, and I think Melanie is, Bubblegum Bite here in the chat is going to be going live later on today to talk about that. So please subscribe, get your notifications on when it comes to Melanie's YouTube channel, because recently Cher was trying to put Elijah, her son, into a conservatorship, and it was denied. And, you know, I think that one of the main reasons that this conservatorship was denied is because of how much awareness there is now around conservatorships. And, you know, Britney did that. And also the Free Britney movement did that. And at first, a lot of people thought, oh, this is celebrity advocacy. You know, who really cares about this? There's bigger things that are happening in the world. But here's the thing. There are so many elderly individuals who are put under these abusive conservatorships, you know, disabled, etc., that haven't been able to have their voices heard. And I feel like the Free Britney movement and also Britney Spears' book really brought awareness around it, where a bill even passed reforming, you know, things when it comes to conservatorships. And so, you know, Timberland saying to put a muzzle on that girl. I think that was his quote, right, guys? You know, was so appalling. And I did a whole video about that. And then Timberland ended up going live on his Instagram and apologizing because
Real boomer shit.
totally some boomer shit. Totally. And, you know, I don't know, he apologized, but it was really because there was so much public pressure. And he looked like, you know, exactly what he was just so freely stating. And it felt like public pressure really put him into that situation where he felt like he had to say sorry. And I didn't really like necessarily, I think obviously love the Free Britney movement. And though it was interesting that he first apologized to the movement and then apologized to Britney Spears. I was like, interesting. I would be like, I'm going to apologize to Britney Spears 100% first because that's who this was directed at. And that is why the Free Britney movement and B Army, for example, you know, were calling him out for his behavior because they're protective, obviously, of what she has gone through and have sincere, you know, sincere compassion and empathy for her. And the apology was like, whatever. And then you find out about Aaliyah and her being a 15-year-old girl and him being in an interview talking about being in love with her. And you're like, being in love with a child? And he's like, there was a war in my mind. And you're like, who is this guy? So a lot came to the surface when it came to Timberland out of all of this. And I found that to be interesting because I didn't know anything about him, Aaliyah, whatsoever until after he made that comment. And then, am I freezing a little bit, guys? I mean, like, I feel like I'm glitching. I can also see it on my phone a little bit. Do you notice that? Oh, okay. No, I do see it on my phone though. Oh, okay. Okay. But what was I saying? Oh, and then I saw that Justin Timberlake took the time to like Timbaland's apology video. And you're like, okay, so you took the time to like that video. Timbaland apologizes to Britney Spears, but you had nothing to say when it came to how Timbaland was communicating publicly. You had nothing to say about her book. You didn't, did he even praise the book or say anything about it? I'm going to wait for Melanie on this. Was there any type of praise? There's the Diplo emotes.
I also saw Melanie
Mhm.
Bubblegum Bite. She found the page. It was like,
What page was it?
I think it was 117. Yeah, it was right here. 117, chapter 19.
117, chapter 19. Melanie, you got it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But I didn't see any, did Justin Timberlake say anything in regards to Britney Spears' book? I mean, I really, it's a little laggy. Okay, good. I did see that. Okay, good. I wasn't tripping. I haven't seen anything when it comes to Justin Timberlake stating anything about Britney's book. And I find that to be just kind of, why would you not praise this individual that you used to know? that, you had a relationship with, that you two went through probably a lot together. And to not see him say, no, nothing about the book. The only apology he gave was early on. Okay. But it wasn't about the book. So, okay. Now, fast forward, we see Britney stating this apology, having a very open heart, being compassionate. And then this morning, we wake up to him going, I'd like to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody. What a class act this guy is. What a class act this guy is. So let's pull this up here. This was posted by The Hollywood Reporter. And God, this is not a quote that you want out there in general. This is full of privilege right here. Not necessarily the way to go. And then afterwards, though, of course, Britney Spears has something to say about this. And that is why, I love her, honestly, because she's not taking any shit. And so she posts this, which we know that there was like a video, or at least I've seen the photograph of Justin and Britney Spears playing basketball. And also, I think she talks about it in her book when it goes to him like crying, or maybe it was an Instagram post where she talks about Justin Timberlake losing to her at basketball and he like cried to his mom, which is amazing that she said that. So here she is responding to this. And she goes, someone told me someone was talking shit about me on the streets. I love this. Do you want to bring it to the court? Or will you go home crying to your mom like you did the last time? I'm not sorry. I'm like, oh my God, it's so good. Go, Britney, go. Power to Britney. I mean, this is so awesome. I love that she brings back the whole court thing. And also this photo is pretty sick. Like I know Quiet was saying that earlier. Like, what is this photo? It's a pretty sick photo and badass. And she, didn't take any of this and responded right away. And I think it's awesome that she did that because that is so cruel, especially when just a few days ago, she was, making this apology for any type of impact that her book made about the people who were inside of the book. And what was another thing? Oh, that's right. Melanie, can you mention in the chat when it comes to, so there's an older song of Britney Spears called Selfish, I think. And Justin Timberlake now has a song called Selfish. And I'm guessing the B Army was behind this one. And her old song, Selfish, ranked #1 over Justin Timberlake's new song by the same name. And you're like, oh shit. But after this comment of his, like, bro up. Grow up. Like, wow, you're above apologies, which to me makes me feel like he's saying he's above Britney Spears. And it's just straight up misogyny. It's like patriarchal, and he doesn't want to take any accountability for his actions. Or even if it's not about him taking accountability for his actions, he should at least say that he's proud of her and that he supports her and that he supports that book, obviously. And, at least say something about how the media treated her during that relationship with him. Because I remember, I'm still a Britney Spears fan. When I was a child, though, I stood in line to get her first album. I had a Britney Spears like microphone and like stereo and like mints and like I had all of the Britney Spears Barbie doll. Huge fan. And I remember, the turnover that happened when Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake were no longer together and how the media treated her. I remember that. I remember that in real time. And it was really sad, especially now looking back at the misogyny at place, the patriarchy at place, and how they treated her. And also how he, in my opinion, cheated her. I mean, well, yeah, cheated on her, but treated her. I put those together because, we learned from the book. But I do also remember there was this radio, um, I don't know, interview with Justin Timberlake where he said something about um, sleeping with her. And I just remember even back then, I thought it was just not respectful per se that he was feeling so open about talking about that. And I'm sure, I'm not, who knows how Britney felt about this, but I personally remember then just getting an icky vibe from him because you're not really, I don't know, kissing and telling like that, especially as a public figure, is kind of gnarly. And I don't know if anyone remembers. Do you remember John Mayer? Remember when John Mayer did that Playboy interview? Horrible, horrible. And he talked about sleeping with Jessica Simpson and that he like compared her to a DRUG. And I'm pretty positive she made a public statement that she was pretty appalled by his behavior. And it was really gross. And you're like, wow, bro, like you're doing this interview and talking about, female public figures that already get so much harassment when it comes to media. And now you're bringing this type of harassment their way. And I've never really been a fan of John Mayer. He's also given me the ick. Like maybe we should do an episode. I should bring him up next week and kind of dig into him a bit because I just remember a lot of problematic things when it comes to John Mayer in general. And so if you know of anything, please put it into the Reddit or email at epredators@gmail.com because I always forget about him. And it's shocking that not much has come out about him, but he just is kind of a douche, in my opinion. But all of these guys, going freely in these interviews, talking about who they've slept with and how they view them in bed, and then thinking about how pop stars back then had to be virgins, Like there was this, the pop stars had to be pure and the boys were able to be essentially F-boys, and like it was okay for them to be players and females had to be in this box of, like, this is my first kiss, like, that shit. And so it's just a bummer to see that Justin Timberlake is not growing up, that he is not taking accountability for his own actions in life, and not even just about accountability, but showing some love when it comes to people who he has had relationships with, who have shown him love and support. And not a lot of us get that in a lifetime. Not a lot of us get apologies. Not a lot of us get to meet people who truly care about us. And from what I felt about Britney Spears, it seemed like she really did care about Justin Timberlake and she really did love him. And she respects him enough to make sure that she made an apology if, there was any type of impact when it came to her words in her book, even though that obviously was not her intention. That's maturity. That's humanity. That's the goal, right? And he's flopping around over there. He's legit just flopping around. He's like, I can't deal with this. And you're lucky, Justin. You're lucky that you had someone who loved you like that in your lifetime. And you should be grateful for that experience with her and how much compassion she's shown you throughout your life. And I would hope that you would want to show her that as well. But you're just not there. You're just not there. How old is Justin Timberlake now? Like, isn't he, how old is he? Gossip is JT cheated on Jessica during her pregnancy. And when Britney's book came out, it caused issues. And now they are getting a divorce. Wait, Justin Timberlake's getting a divorce. Wait, Jessica Biel, right? I think it makes me so angry and sad. Yeah, because I don't know, we can all, what Britney has gone through should make everybody upset, should make everyone saddened. No one should be making fun of it whatsoever. Saying to put a muzzle on her is absolutely disgusting and disturbing. there should only be love, honestly, shown towards that person. And especially how forgiving she is as a person and how she has moved through all of this that she's gone through is so beyond admirable that I feel like the average person feels that or wants to make sure. Wait, I see John Mayer apologizes after using. Whoa! I just got an email. My email. Oh my God. Okay, we're definitely diving into John Mayer next week. What I just saw, it seems like he needs to go on Christy Carlson Romano's Vulnerable podcast. He'd be a perfect guest. So anyways, he's 43? Wow. I hope I am a lot more grown than that at 43. I mean, I'm about to turn 32 this year, and I was, talking to Miko about this. Was this last night? And just looking back at things that I would say, in my early 20s, mid 20s, even late 20s, and now looking at myself now, you can see how much growth happens, or at least how much growth should happen when it comes to getting older, and change and learning and deprogramming and all of it. Just shocking to see somebody with all this privilege, like Justin Timberlake. I know he knows how to use Google. We all do. And he just hasn't seemed to really grow up. Vulnerable emotes. I love it. So, okay. So that's what's going on with, wait, let me make sure I'm not missing anything here. So we did this at a concert.
Real quick, just to chime in.
Yeah.
It's in like, I feel the same way. Like if I look at myself when I was like younger, I feel like I was much younger. Like even at 24, 25.
Totally.
I think these fools haven't grown out of that stage, and that's why they like hooking up with these chicks that are in that age range.
True.
And they're like 40-year-olds, and yeah.
Yeah, you mean like dating women that are like 23, 24, and they're like 40?
Yeah, like emotionally they are actually, in their 20s.
Yeah, I feel that because it kind of feels like emotional, that can happen too when it comes to this industry is, emotional, like arrested development, where because they are in a bubble, right? When you're a celebrity like Justin Timberlake or a celebrity at the level of Britney Spears, for example, naturally you get put into this bubble. All of a sudden you're having bodyguards around you at all times. You're mostly surrounded by industry people. Even when I look at my own childhood, as an actress, I was mostly surrounded. Most of my memories are me being on set or with my mom, like mom days, on set days with my mom. But a lot of industry people around me. And the industry is not real life, right? The entertainment industry is honestly far removed. And the privilege there is beyond. People act in ways that they would never be able to act in different jobs, in different situations. It can really stunt your own personal understanding of the world. And for me, my eyes really started to open when I did start traveling and getting outside of Los Angeles and, going to all these different countries. I was like, wow, people live in so many different ways. I know that sounds silly, me saying that. And it's like, of course people do. But when you've been isolated in one city for a very long time in one industry and was homeschooled, it does have an impact on your life and how you view the world. And so when I started traveling, I was like, wow, there's different ways of living. And I was so enamored by that. And when I went back home, I would try to kind of pick and choose things that I found very sacred about the places that I went and visited, or gems of wisdom that I picked up along the way, and incorporate them into my life. And that really helped me personally grow up a lot. I needed to get outside of Hollywood. And so I have empathy for a lot of these individuals in the sense of, Christy Carlson Romano. anyone in this industry. You know, wasn't easy per se, you know, and there was isolation, and, you know, there is a lot of ABUSE and perfectionism and competition and the whole thing. And so it makes sense that a lot of these people do have like emotional arrested development or whatever it's called. It makes sense, but obviously it explains, but it doesn't excuse behavior. And that's what accountability is for. And so I understand that Justin Timberlake might not be whatever. Oh my God, Ella. Ella just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Ella. That's so sweet. Look at all these people getting memberships. That's so awesome. Thank you so much, Ella. That was so kind. That was super, super kind. Thank you. Thank you. So I have the empathy, you know, but it doesn't really excuse this type of behavior. And I'm hoping that, you know, he gets out of that one day soon and does give Britney, you know, an apology. And that Cry Me a River video alone should be an apology. I remember that video. And he did this at a concert, by the way. I didn't realize he did this shit at a concert. Like, wow, the ego isn't looking too good today, especially about an abortion story. The whole thing is just blah. Not a fan, definitely a Britney fan, rooting for Britney. And I hope that Justin Timberlake comes around and sees, you know, where he was wrong and where he could have been better, or where he could have showed up better and been more true to who he probably is deep inside. Hopefully. Hopefully. Jay, guess who's back? Talk soon. Oh, Jay! Oh, shit. Jay, what a surprise. You're back. Wait, I love that you just pop in like that. Jay, we've missed you. We've missed you. Where have you been? Jay's been out of town for a while, but it's so nice to see Jay back here. Welcome back, Jay.
That's the J.
That's the J. Yeah, not the other.
Whoops.
Whoopsie. It's okay, but now we know. Now you definitely know that. What a story that was. Okay. All right, moving on. Where are we? So you know what? Bye, Justin. See you later. Hopefully the next time I see you on my feed, you're actually saying that you do owe an apology to someone and not this shit. Bye. Okay, so I do want to remind everyone here, going through the little spiel here, that, you know, ePredators is completely DIY, is a total grassroots movement. These signs that you see behind me are actual protest signs that me and my husband make late night while the children are asleep for protests. You know, God, when did it start? 2022, I started to protest institutions that were allegedly covering up SA. And also protesting alleged predators with either criminal investigations or public lawsuits of some kind. And, you know, that's how it all started, is through protesting and showing up. And it has grown, you know, throughout the year. And now it's a YouTube channel, but still I am protesting once a month. And so to remind everyone here, I am protesting, or ePredators is protesting, the Grammys this Sunday. So this Sunday is the Grammys. We are protesting the Grammys because there are 2 public lawsuits against the Grammys currently that are beyond disturbing, heartbreaking. And the allegations against the Grammys, the Recording Academy, is that they were covering up the essay. And these were CEOs of the Recording Academy. And so we are showing up because I've been talking about this for a very long time now, is that the music industry has been covering up SA decades long. It was honestly built into the cake. You know, sex and rock and roll, and no unions when it comes to musicians and artists. So like, for example, on sets for film, there's a union. You're not able to just like smoke and drink, you know, on set, right? There are regulations and rules. But when it comes to music, when it comes to even studio environments, recording studios for music, there aren't these unions overlooking. There's no one for people to call when it comes to ABUSE in the music industry. And so the boundaries have never been properly placed. And so therefore it's very baked into the cake, as I like to say. It's in there and it's systemic. It's 100% systemic and it needs to change. And these look back windows and these statutes opening up for survivors have really given us a look at what has been happening behind the scenes, like the lawsuit against P. Diddy that the brave survivor Cassie filed. If you haven't read that complaint, it is beyond horrific, and she really shows how the music industry was involved and complicit when it came to the ABUSE she suffered from at the hands of P. Diddy. And this is an institutional issue. It is institutional cover-up, just like when we finally realized about the Catholic Church, for example. Now it's like, oh, of course, you know, but you have to remember when these lawsuits were first happening way, way back when it came to the Catholic Church, a priest, no one believed that a priest could do something like that. And then they really did not believe that the Catholic Church was aware of it. And for those who don't know much about that case or those cases, when the expose happened, they figured out that when a priest got exposed for child SA, instead of getting rid of him completely, the Catholic Church would move the priest to a different state, giving him more access to more victims. And the music industry does something very similar, where they will pretend they have washed their hands of the rotten apples, which I hate that saying because it's the roots that are creating these rotten apples. But these rotten apples, they pretend it's just another rotten apple, bad apple. It's not us, it's not the company, it's not the institution. And what they end up doing when it comes to the executive level is they will move around these people. Like, for example, there's one at Warner Music Group that had all these allegations, and Warner Music Group was like, oh, we're not gonna have anything to do with him anymore after the Me Too movement. We're getting rid of him. They literally just moved him over to a Warner parent company. Now he's the president of that. You see what I mean? And it's institutional. And so this is a very big deal for me. I've dedicated my whole life to this work and, you know, exposing the institutional cover-up. And so this is completely DIY. We have no corporate sponsorships, no ads in here, and it's completely community built. And so I like to remind everyone how to make this sustainable. And every person here is doing just that. Please remember to like.
Just to be clear, there are ads on the YouTube video.
Oh yeah, there's ads. YouTube's doing it, but there's no personal ads for me. No corporate, no sponsorship when it comes to Eat Predators. And so what was I gonna say? Oh, like this video, share this video with a survivor or an ally or a potential ally. Turn your notifications on, subscribe, and obviously there are the memberships here on YouTube. We have the Munchies, the Dinner Party, and Chef's Kiss. The Dinner Party and the Chef's Kiss give you access to the wonderful Discord community, a community of survivors and allies, and I can't recommend that enough. Trying at best to create a very safe environment for everyone there. And then for members of the Dinner Party and Chef's Kiss, every Friday we have a members only, I don't even know what to call it. I guess they're becoming kind of like little workshops, but we're doing Social Change Now, which is a workbook where we get to figure out our own personal unique voices when it comes to social change. And there are so many roles that we can all play. And there's not one role when it comes to social change. And I've been enjoying that so much. That's every other Friday. And then on the off Fridays for Chef's Kiss, we have Hard Feelings with Jeanette McCurdy, which has been such a wonderful way of connecting with the community. We're listening to each episode of her podcast and, you know, reflecting on our own hard feelings and just discussing. And it's been really, really wonderful. And I highly, highly do recommend it. It's like one of my favorite parts of ePredators is being able to do these member onlys, you know, Fridays and now Wednesdays as well. And so those are ways to support. And then also there's the Patreon, which really goes towards the movement and the zine that I am putting together. I'm making a survivor-centric and a survivor-led magazine where I'm so excited about this. And so the proceeds that you put into the Patreon go towards that work that I'm putting together, and also the protests. It helps you know, create sustainability when it comes to the protest signs and the graphic design work that my husband and I do, and organizing and getting people out there, and sometimes helping them Uber there. Oh, here's Lauren. Advocating for survivors is hard work. Here's everyone's reminder to be kind to yourself and take care of yourself as well. You matter. Thank you so much, Lauren, and so true. So true. I need to hear that. Oh my God, David! David, I didn't even know you were here yet. Alexa, I would like to apologize if last night's poem was triggering. David, I haven't even been able to read it yet. I haven't even been able to check my email yet. I've spent my life without a voice and told I was mentally ill. Your efforts here at ePredators is so necessary and important. Keep up the excellent work. David, you matter. Thank you so much for being here. And don't worry, no need to apologize. And I'm going to read it later on today. Sorry that I haven't been able to get around to it. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. And you matter. Your feelings matter. Yeah, we're just so happy to have you here in this community. And Dave is also part of the Discord community, which has just been so wonderful and healing for me personally. Sometimes it's rough, obviously, in the Guess Who series that I've done here at ePredators, but when it's good, it's so inspiring and so healing. And David has been a part of that journey as well. And so thank you so much, David, for being here. You're so kind. David, everyone, let's just send some hearts to David, because he's been really showing so much support for ePredators. And, you know, I didn't know if I even could do this work like this, to be quite honest with you. And, you know, a lot of things get buried when it comes to what I say. And so I'm going up a little bit against a wall most of the time. And so seeing this type of love and support amongst one another is just really empowering. And I want survivors to see more of this. Survivors deserve this type of support. They deserve this type of love. And so power to you, David. Power to you, and power to every survivor here in the live chat today. So the signs, the Patreon really goes towards that, and the zine, and possible workshops that I want to incorporate into this, because I want to make sure we are balancing the energies when it comes to this work, because it can be very heavy. We're talking about heavy topics a lot, and we got to find ways to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And how do we do that? Also, Saturdays and Wednesdays, we have the Survivor Listening Group on Discord that's led by Sabine. She's amazing. It's a place for you to vent, to come into community and feel supported about your stories, your journey. And now we're also putting in a healing circuit. That's what happens when I've spoke for too long. A healing circle with my friend Sibby, who is a certified meditation teacher, and he is now guiding meditations in the Discord for the YouTube members. And so it's all about balancing, and I really want to do that as much as possible. So thank you for helping make this be sustainable, everyone. I really, really appreciate you. And then we got the merch, which I'm wearing today, which is all about spreading awareness for survivors. Survivors don't get most of the time this type of messaging. And so I really created the sweatshirts and the t-shirts and the tote bags to not only help make this work sustainable, but also to send a message so that a survivor, hopefully out and about in a grocery store, sees someone wearing this and just feels supported and seen and validated and Yeah. Sorry, it just sounds so good. Like, I just wanted to see this, and so I'm so happy that I was able to offer this, and it makes me very happy to do so. And so we have the merchandise, which is all about spreading awareness and making the channel sustainable. And so those are the ways to support the channel. And just being here, thank you so much. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me, and I can't say that. I can't say that enough. Okay, so what are we getting into today? So let's start, I guess, with let's see what everyone's saying in the chat. Power to survivors. Power to survivors. And it's so cozy too. Okay, so let's first get into Taylor Swift. Now, I don't know if anyone remembers here that I went into great detail. I did a whole episode about deepfakes. And one of the things I don't like, well, there's many things I hate about these deepfakes. But one of them being that it's called deepfakes. I don't like the language around it because it sounds like, what is that? It kind of just falls flat. It doesn't really have a lot of impact. And it doesn't really describe what it is. And I know that we've also spoken about revenge, PORN, parody predators. Don't like that term either. And there's many episodes where I talk about that. Oh, sorry, is it the mic? Can you guys hear me? The magical. Is it, so it should be further away from me? Oh, okay. Okay, let me know if everyone can hear me. Can everybody hear me? Let me know. One, if you can hear me. Two, if it's sounding a little bit weird. So where was I? Okay, I hate deepfakes. I also hate the term for it. I hate revenge P. And a lot of survivors want to change that term to image-based SA. Now, when you hear that, you're like, oh, whoa, that's impactful. It really sends a message. You understand it a lot more. Revenge P sounds like the survivor did something to the predator, and now the predator just has revenge on the survivor, right? And so that to me, okay, good, you guys can all hear me. That is very deeply upsetting, and we have to be very aware and conscious of the words that we use when it comes to describing harm. And I just don't like the term deep fake when it comes to what so many young children right now. I don't know if you saw that episode. Children, there was an app that you can take a photo of some kid in your class, and there was an undressing app that AIs the child. And it was an article that I read in one of these episodes. These are the people, children, are being impacted by these AIs. And not many people are doing much about it. Senate, I mean, Congress is not doing anything. But now, like what we were talking about earlier when it comes to Britney Spears and the Free Britney movement, yeah, celebrity culture is a bummer, right? It is. Don't idolize anyone, honestly, right? And though at the same time, these public figures sadly do, bring awareness to things that the masses have been dealing with and haven't been heard or validated. And so what's been going on around the internet is all of these deep fakes when it comes to Taylor Swift. And very similar to the Bee Army, there are the Swifties, which, by the way, say what you will. They have really made some noise and created some change. Like, for example, when it comes to Live Nation, e-predators protested in front of the courthouse on behalf of, we were there with the law firm of the Swifties. And there's been so much awareness that the Swifties have brought to certain things. And it's honestly amazing. It really, truly is, because a lot of these things would just, I don't know if they would have happened in the same way. And so there is something to be proud of when it comes to this. But sadly, power to Taylor Swift. She is a victim of image-based SA when it comes to AI. And so let's read what's going on here. This is an article from NBC News. Okay, so it says explicit AI generated Taylor Swift images continue to proliferate on X, Instagram, and Facebook. Yep. Ooh, can I do this? See if this is better. That should be good. Okay. So the continued proliferation of explicit deepfakes of Swift on leading social media platforms underscores the challenge of stopping the spread of fake images once they're disseminated on the internet. This is so horrible. And, this has happened to me too before, and it's just absolutely horrible. This is image-based essay. This is extremely traumatic and should be taken very seriously. Fake artificial intelligence generated NUDE and suggestive photos of Taylor Swift continue to circulate on social media platform days after they first spread on Elon Musk's X. Still don't like that name. Bring Twitter back. Having now made their way to Instagram and Facebook. Basic keyword searches of those platforms on Monday quickly turned up the fake images of the singer despite some efforts to limit their spread. On Saturday, X stopped Swift's name, which is really interesting. Literally, Elon Musk had to shut down anyone searching for Taylor Swift, which is, whoa, that's pretty.
Yeah, and he didn't do that. I mean, her lawyers probably did that.
You're right. Yeah, Miko said that to me too, and I was kind of like, "Are you sure?" But you guys are probably right.
No, 100%. I mean,
You're right.
He doesn't. I mean, that's more clicks for his website.
Right.
Like, why would he want to do that?
Right. And if a guy like Elon Musk, he doesn't care about anybody.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about anybody. True. Okay. So on Saturday, X stopped Swift's name from working in its search function through alternative phrasing, still turned up the pictures. As of Tuesday morning, however, X had unblocked searches of Swift's name. So now it's back up. The continued proliferation of explicit, what did you say? Oh, yeah. Explicit deep fakes of Swift on leading social media platforms underscores the challenge of stopping the spread of fake images once they're disseminated on the internet. It's difficult, if not impossible, to contain them. What? Get out of here. Similar material can be created and posted almost immediately, even if the original content has been taken down. I mean, this is the main issue here. I mean, we're going to fight the internet? I mean, the internet is impossible to fight. And this is why this is very scary and why we do need Congress to get involved in on this, because there still is little to no consequences when it comes to these AI platforms that are creating these image-based essay images. I mean, I was going to say images again. Image-based essay. There's no accountability. There's no consequences. And when one website shut down, then another website will, come up, and it's just like a never-ending cycle. And so what do you do?
Once it gets put into the like AI system too, it just gets remade so easily.
It gets worse. Because then all of a sudden it's going into the system and just multiplying.
Yeah. And then people know like, oh, I can just type this into the AI engine and then it'll just reproduce almost the same image.
That like really freaks me out. That really freaks me out. Okay, so, all right. A representative for Swift didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. Neither did X, the company previously known as Twitter. Can you please go away? There we go. Meta, which owns both Facebook and Instagram, said in a statement, "No one should ever have to experience online ABUSC like this." Yeah, I agree. On Monday, Meta removed 8 Instagram posts and 1 Facebook post containing suggestive and explicit deepfake images of Swift that were flagged by NBC News. Wow, so NBC News flagged it and that's how they found it. But see, like, how much more impactful would this sentence be if instead of deepfakes here, if it was like Meta removed 8 Instagram posts and 1 Facebook post containing suggestive and explicit image-based SA. You'd be like, oh, okay. Like now this is feeling like something that is a crime, essentially, and also something that is very dangerous. You know, deep fake to me just doesn't land in the way that I want it to land at all. Just don't think of it that way. The platform left up an AI-generated Facebook post that depicted Swift pregnant. What? As well as one that depicted Swift kissing the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, okay, but I have a question to the chat here. Do you remember when Kanye West did this in an actual music video? Like, I'm like remembering right now. Didn't Kanye West make a music video where he wakes up in bed and there is image-based essay of Taylor Swift in the music video? Please let me know if I am saying that properly. And then I saw recently that people were saying that FKA Twigs was poking fun of that video of Taylor Swift. Yes. Okay, so I'm right. Okay, yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible. He was basically like hyper normalizing it and saying it was chill to do something like that. And he's a huge public figure. And so that sends a message to so many people out there. And then I saw FKA Twigs making fun of it. And by the way, guess who FKA Twigs, this is sad because, you know, FKA Twigs is a survivor. But guess who her lawyer is? Who is FKA Twigs' lawyer? But it was very disappointing because you see a survivor, obviously, a reported survivor, Shia LaBeouf, and, you know, making this Instagram story or Instagram reel or TikTok teasing and making fun of, you know, something that should be taken very, very seriously. There's Brian Friedman. Everyone got it right. Yes, FK Twigs is a survivor. And it's sad when you see survivors, you know, going up against other survivors or belittling, you know, it's the patriarchy though, right? I mean, it's very much learned behavior, very much learned behavior. Okay, so we're moving on.
It's called friendly fire.
What is it called?
Friendly fire.
Is that the video?
No. That's when like a survivor would be attacking like another survivor.
Oh, wait, friendly fire?
Yeah, friendly fire.
That's hilarious. Is that actually a term already?
Yeah, it's in video games when you can shoot your own teammates.
Friendly fire, but it's not friendly.
You're firing against people on your own team.
Oh, I see. This is how much I'm not in the video game world. Like Quiet's always telling me things about that world. I'm like, what are you talking about? But makes sense. That is essentially what's happening, and it's a bummer when it does happen because, you know, I do believe that these predators for the most part want survivors to be divided. And so it's best not to give in to that. So no friendly fire. No friendly fire. Wait, was she mocking Taylor or Yee? Becca, she was mocking Taylor Swift, which is why I'm bummed out about it. Yeah, she was. You can search it. It was, I think, Daily Mail. I can't stand Daily Mail, but Daily Mail posted the whole thing. That's where I first saw it. Okay, so, on Saturday, X temporarily blocked searches for Taylor Swift and Taylor Swift AI. Searching those terms resulted in a loading page that never returned results. But terms like T-Swift, Taylor Swift deepfake, can you stop? And Taylor Swift NUDE still returned search results that included those explicit deepfakes of Swift and other fake images, such as one that portrayed her as a Nazi. Wow. Okay. So this is the future, huh? This is what we built. Wasn't this created, like, what is in the Bible? Created in the image of God or whatever. And isn't AI created in the image of us? And look at what this is becoming. It's really like looking in the mirror of our collective, right? And it's not a good look. It's not a good look. It should wake us up, if anything. Okay, so the images first posted on X last week have now spread to other platforms. A search for Taylor Swift AI on Instagram on Monday retrieved suggestive and explicit deepfakes of Swift alongside posts talking about the viral deepfakes within the top 100 post results. On Facebook, a search for the Taylor Swift AI surface AI-generated image of Swift, including the S-suggestive deep fake images, as well as others that were not part of the initial viral incident. How many times have I just read these two terms? This S-suggestive. Like, why don't we just do image-based SA and get rid of all of this other nonsense? Like, it's making me kind of dizzy reading this article. Like, let's just say including image-based SA image, that's it. You don't even need to say images then. You got it, as well as others. There we go. The rapid evolution of AI technology has made once arduous media manipulation readily available to the public, with some smartphone apps now capable of near seamless face swaps. Advanced generative AI from major tech companies that is widely available is capable of creating entirely new and lifelike images based on text inputs. Swift is just one of many prominent victims of this technology. This is heartbreaking. And also, this is happening to children. NBC did a Kat, God, I'm blanking on Kat's last name, incredible survivor, and I'm pretty positive, incredible journalist. And she did a whole expose on what these AIs have been doing to children, just normal people in the world, not celebrities, not public figures. And it's very scary. We all need to be concerned about this. This is really, really serious. Someone can just take a photo of you or find a photo of you and do that. Really upsets me. And I have children, and like, this is the future we're stepping into. It's like the world's gonna burn while this is all happening. This is not looking, I don't know, like what Happy New Year? What Happy New Year? Happy New Year doesn't really exist anymore, honestly. So image-based SA. Oh, there we go. It finally came through. Wait, why have they been saying this the whole time? Wow, I'm shocked they used it. There we go. Loving this. Oh, because Kat wrote this. Okay, so this is Kat, by the way. Kat is awesome. I can't praise Kat enough. Oh, wait, welcome to the Chef's Kiss, Britzy. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, love this, Kat. Way to go. See, we need more survivors telling these stories, right? Like, we want to see survivors in these positions telling these stories, because then they have a different type of impact. There's something different to it. You can tell this person has actual lived experience to be able to tell this story. And so there we go. We got image-based SA. Love this. Image-based SA targeting celebrities has appeared in top Google and Bing search. Oh yeah, I forgot about that engine. Bing search results, as well as on websites that monetize the content. In recent months, teenage girls have spoken out about being victimized with explicit deepfakes at school. One teen victim has pushed for a federal law, power to that person, federal law that would criminalize deepfakes. It would be the first federal law to address non-consensual explicit deepfakes. Let's go. That's so awesome. Hi, Josh. How is this even allowed? The system is so corrupt, right? It is. It is. And honestly, we have to understand also how patriarchal, the system is. And, survivors experience this a lot when they go on their justice path and, let's say, file a lawsuit. You realize that the rules, all the ins and outs when it comes to law, for example, is really built by people wanting to be protected. And it's not the survivors that were building it, if you know what I mean. A lot of it feels like it was built by predators that are trying to protect their assets and protect this and protect that. And there aren't many laws in place to protect survivors. Needs to change. Okay, but the fake Swift images have spread further and sparked more outrage than any other deepfakes to date. Some U.S. politicians have reacted vigorously, and White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said Congress should take action. Wow, it even got this person saying something. See, this is important. Power to survivors. We need survivors out there advocating for change, getting in there, state level, federal level, and making the changes. And I really hope to see more of that, going forward. And say what you will. I know people make fun of Swifties, and it's like, listen, they're creating change though, and they have. And I really saw this when it comes to Live Nation. And sometimes fandom, right, can be harmful, and we see that when it comes to alleged predators. Well, they'll weaponize their fan base to attack the reported survivors, right? And though at other times we'll see fandom working in a very wonderful way where they're protecting not only the person that they are idolizing, but wanting to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone else and spreading awareness at rapid speeds because of their reach and how many there are. So very, very interesting. Really, oh, was there?
There was a 3-month sub somewhere. They said, "Can't wait to see you at the protest on Sunday" from Juan.
Juan! Oh, wait, that's right.
work.
You're going to be at the protest. Juan, I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you. Thank you for coming. And I know Christian too. And please, if you can't make it, obviously, if anyone can't make it, please make sure to watch the live and, support us from afar and show them that there are, many people supporting this protest and standing up for survivors. And it's all about Survivors United. And so please, please show up. Also, just one thing I wanted to show, I don't know if anyone saw this recently, but The Cut did an article about freaking Andrew Cuomo. He's back. No one wants him back. But it says the DOJ says Andrew Cuomo SH'd 13 employees, which is major that the DOJ is saying this. They investigated, and now, sadly, there have been 13. Why does this keep coming up? Can you please go away? I have to delete things, I think, you guys. Let's see. Delete my trash. Get this all out of here. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. But yeah, so Andrew Cuomo, and we also know about his brother as well, and those allegations. And guess who? Wait, what's his name again? What's his brother's name? Wait, there's Andrew Cuomo, Chris Cuomo. What the hell is going on? Yeah, there's Chris Cuomo as well, and Chris Cuomo what is going on? I need to delete things. Do you mind just going full screen for a second? I should just close these things out. But Chris Cuomo's lawyer is the person I need to save, though. Bummer. Guess who Chris Cuomo's lawyer is? Drum roll. Yeah, it's, of course, Brian Freeman. And so we know all about that. It seems like his brother kind of has, they're from the same tree here. And it's just nice to see that the DOJ looked into this, that there is movement when it comes to this, and no one is allowing this to hopefully go any further when it comes to these work environments that are covering up this type of behavior. Because we really shouldn't get to this point where the DOJ is having to show, 13. By the way, whoever his team was, Andrew Cuomo, they knew. All right. They definitely knew. The DOJ should not be having to come in and go, 13. Most likely, that team knew about those 13 employees and were probably actively covering it up. So that's just my opinion there. So I just wanted to show that because there is some movement. Now, before going into Vince here, people have been sending me. It's saying that my disk is full. So it's because I did close the Finder. It's saying to relaunch the Finder. See? No, see, relaunch. It's closed. I don't know why it's telling me that everything is open here. It's like, close this then. Hopefully that should allow me to surf this. Okay, so people have been sending me about Trent Ballinger. And so I did want to address, sometimes when these individuals pop up like that, it kind of startles me a little bit. But Trent Ballinger is obviously Colleen. This is so annoying. No, I'm not forcing and quitting. Trent Ballinger is the brother of Colleen Ballinger. And, I thought it was just Colleen with these types of allegations. And I have come to realize that no, apparently her brother as well has these types of allegations. Not even just allegations, but this
they're like
reported
worse allegations.
they're
Or
what?
they're like it's like worse.
It's worse. Yeah.
He's like actually weirdo.
Showing it. I mean, there's screenshots. I mean, for what I saw on Twitter. And so someone within the community here has let me know that it was okay to speak about this, that I got approval for this, which is always good to respect the survivor at hand here. So this person's name is Oliver. Wow, 2.6 million views here. They tweeted, thread of things Trent Ballinger, a man in his 30s, sent to me when I was 13, 14. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on here? So here's a text message. Okay, just don't share our conversations with anyone. The first, like, that is, like we talked about with Pretty Little Liars, that is a serious red flag. Like, that is a serious red flag. When someone is trying to create secrecy, that usually means that somebody is preying on someone. Then he goes, anything we talk about stays between you and I. This is so creepy. Yeah, wait. Yeah, he fully tried to. Oliver and others. This is just so gross, you guys. Oh, okay. Don't worry. This is a kid. This is 13 and having to reassure a grown individual that they won't tell anyone anything, that the conversation triggers me because, you know, I've been in Oliver's shoes before. I've been preyed upon like this at a young age. I remember people saying things like this to me. I even remember, you know, when we were talking about Brandon Quinn and reading those screen recordings. I mean, this is the pattern. And with Brandon Quinn specifically, though, he was having this child allegedly delete the conversation. And you're like, wow. That, and it literally said in like the text or whatever that I saw, the screenshot, the alleged screenshot, that it was to save his ass. Like he literally, like he said that in the screenshot, to save his ass. So these alleged predators are just trying to save their ass. They don't actually care about the child, obviously, that they're preying on. So here, Oliver said, I wish I would have known how wrong it was at the time. Do not blame yourself. Look here. I'm told not to talk to people under 18. Of course. Oh, wait, no. This is Trent saying this? Yes. I'm told not to talk to people under 18. Why, Trent? I wonder why. Because you're not supposed to be talking. The fact that he's aware, this shows a possible pattern. That someone's aware of his behavior and telling him he needs to essentially stop doing that, which is gross.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was like stuff that had happened with him in the past, and then the family was like telling him, like, not to, yeah, like, yo, like, chill out.
Wow, instead of
he couldn't stop himself.
Of course not, because he's blank, 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 blank. Okay. He goes, I do so just to spread positivity. Yeah, right, Trent. What adult is talking to underage children just to spread positivity? Huh? Unless like you're around your actual child and you're like spreading positivity, like you're trying to cheer up your kid. No one's doing this with a random child. This is beyond disturbing. And then, wait, so yeah. With this emoji, I can't stand whatever this emoji is. This emoji is creeping me out. Then the kid goes, I don't see anything wrong with talking to people that are under 18. Who said that? You really do spread positivity, and I love it. Look at this poor kid. Look how vulnerable. This Trent person, sorry, I haven't read all of these, and so I'm just getting a little bit triggered and pissed off. Wait. Oh, he says here, family. You really do spread positivity, and I love it. Family. This is... does it get worse? Please warn me if this gets worse. He knew my age. You don't look bi, so I'm like in head tilts. Why the fuck are you talking about this with a kid? Alleged dad. Yeah. Trent, what are you doing here? Exactly what it looks like, huh?
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening here. Then the kid goes, oh, I don't, but yeah, I think I am. Wait, then he goes, why do you think you are? It's like, what is he trying to get at with this? I don't know. I just don't think I'm straight, I guess. Then he goes, just be honest with yourself. You're young. Don't have to label yourself yet. Can you stop? You are very right. Yeah, I don't really want to completely label myself yet, but I guess the closest thing I am to is being bi. I don't even like how he's like trying to like manipulate or I don't know, like get this kid to see themselves in a specific way. Like it already feels kind of micromanaging and controlling here. Okay. Then curious why. I don't know. I guess would I think I'm straight? At this point, I just don't really know what I am, but I am questioning. How old are you? Oh, it's like the Brandon Quinn. He literally says, and then the kid says 13. Wait, you guys, how old is Trent Ballinger at this point? Was he like 40? How old was Trent during this time? This is 2018. Wow. Yes, because Oliver was figuring out their gender identity, and that's so predatory. I agree, Becca. In my opinion, Nat said trigger warning. Thanks, Nat. Thanks. God, okay, here we go. 13. Yeah, I wouldn't question it yet. Peapod? He does not have a nickname for the child. Talking to Peapod? He's trying to like gain the trust of a child. Like even the term Peapod is like, I don't know. I don't even like what the fuck is.
I mean, that's
Peapod?
super weird. Like, what?
Right?
That's like not even a term of endearment. But
No,
like
I've never heard it
like,
before.
it just makes it more awkward.
More creepy. It's so creepy. Ew, ew, ew. Wait. Okay, so here's the next. So I guess he says night and says, don't let the actuality bite. Okay, this person needs to officially get called, reported immediately. It's okay. You're going to grow up doing what you love and probably fade away from me. Hold on. What's going on with this family? Like, so the allegations against Colleen, and then there's these allegations against her brother. Is there anyone else in the family doing this? Like this is already, one is enough, but now two? It's so gross. I'm pretty shocked by this. I'm shocked that there hasn't been any lawsuits also. Or just like, I don't know. This is pretty blatant, in my opinion. This is straight, predatory behavior. He looks like he is preying on a child. And also making the child feel guilty. Like, you're gonna grow up. Which, by the way, why are you even talking to someone where you have to use the words, you're gonna grow up? That is, if you're typing that, did you not just go, whoa? You're gonna grow up doing what you love and probably fade away from me. This guilt trip on a child. This is so freaking predatory. Holy shit. Okay, what else do we have here? P.S. You should come to the Orange Show. What's the Orange Show, you guys? Is that something that I should be aware of? Like, what is P.S. You should come to the Orange Show? Was this something that Colleen was doing, or was this something that
Yeah, so I mean, I only know this from watching H3, but I think it was a show maybe in Orange County, or it was the name of the show that they were doing.
Oh, okay. That makes sense because it's like not his show, right? I don't think it would be. He's probably talking about his sisters.
Yeah. No, it's his
Ew,
sister show.
he's like using his sister to like.
Yeah. That was the whole thing. Was like he was using her to get to kids, basically.
This is absolutely beyond disturbing. Okay, the kid goes, oh my God, I wish I could. My mom said I can't go to California. My mom said I can't go to California. Why not? Oh, you're trying to override the kid's mom's rules here? Why would the mom let their kid go to California in the first place? because she doesn't really like California. I don't know why. I love it and I've always wanted to go, and it's really far since I live in Pennsylvania. Honestly, I understand why the mom doesn't like California. It's scary over here as a child, to be quite honest with you. California is scary. Look what's happening here, and he's in California. Is Colleen and him like from California? Do they live in California?
I think that show was just in California. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
I'm
where
just
they
curious.
live. I got the idea that they didn't live here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let the chat see if that's all right. What's wrong with Callie? My mom really hates traffic. Okay. Where is this going? Yeah, totally. Okay, so then Oliver says here, he was always sending pics of me to me. No. Especially this pic.
What the hell?
I don't even want to show this. I just want it off my screen. I think I made you pop out more Peapod. Stop.
Why did he have to say that too?
Why does he say this Peapod shit? It feels like it's something he's been...
Oh, okay. So Sia's saying, yeah, they are
What?
from California.
Oh, grew up in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, okay. So not from LA, but they're from Santa Barbara.
Okay, so they are from California, though.
Yeah.
See, that's why the mom was like, fuck California. Yeah, I would say the same. I want to get out of California myself. At Nat So Brave sharing that. Oh, yes, Nat. I think Nat said something here in the chat. Not sure. I just don't want to say something unless I'm allowed to. Okay, so moving on here. These photos, I can't. Oh, wait, sends the photo again to the child. And this photo is just, it's not good.
I have something that Sia sent me from, I guess, the sister. Do you want to see it?
Wait, what sister?
Their sister. Yeah, I guess there's a sister as well.
I absolutely support anyone with incriminating info to bring it to authorities. There is personal nuance as to his level of developmental delay, which he has always kept private, but it is much more than is known publicly, and I feel awful for sharing even that. But he's not someone that I have had contact with or will have my kids have contact with since learning about his behavior several months ago. We also discussed that the kids, I can't read the rest of it, sorry, with the kids at their varying levels of understanding and asked if they ever experienced similar with him, which they had not. So yes, I think anyone with evidence of any crime should of course bring it to authorities to be investigated appropriately. I personally do not have that evidence, but from what has been shared, I can still use an abundance of personal caution with my kids and make choices accordingly. I am sad for Ollie.
I think I can move this up a little bit. Oh, shit.
I am sad for Ollie, who has always been a sweet, genuine person who shouldn't have had that emotional burden at that age. You mean shouldn't have been preyed upon? I still think that is a little falling flat for me. I appreciate that that's, I guess, the only Ballinger that seems to, I don't know, be
He's
saying
normal.
Yeah, more normal.
Yeah, semi-normal.
Somewhat normal. But like still, that was still falling a little bit flat. To me, there is evidence of predatory behavior here when it comes to these screenshots. Like this is beyond disturbing. What did someone say here? Chris, hi Chris, put them away. Do not actualize children, power to survivors. Thank you for everything, Alexa. Thank you, Chris. It's so nice to see you here. And thank you for everything. We're going to be getting into Vince very shortly. Okay. I just wanted to highlight this because I find this very scary that this is not only Colleen Ballinger when it comes to these allegations, but also the brother. I'm a little bit late on this, but I still want to cover it. So I guess there's a GIF here. And he responds to, oh my God, you kind of look like my last girlfriend in that GIF.
Ew.
Hold on. That is a straight up child. Is your ex-girlfriend, which by the way, it's impossible, a child? That is broomy. It's getting real broomy here. This is really serious. And I don't really necessarily like, though, that the sister was saying you know, to like bring it to authority. I feel like you can say that you have seen evidence though of this type of behavior. Like just saying like now I'm being cautious. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can. Well, that's also kind of tricky because if the survivor doesn't necessarily want that, we have to make sure that every decision the community makes is survivor-centric and survivor-led. And though at the same time, if you were a sibling of someone, you saw your sibling doing this, I'm pretty sure at least technically you can go to the police and make a report about someone else or something that you're witnessing. I'm pretty sure you're actually allowed to do that. So I'm just kind of shocked that no one in the family has done something. Okay. Oh, I still have been texting Faith this whole time. I've been on break and some other friends just not on Twitter. What? Why not? Yeah, well, I just thought it wouldn't hurt to take a break from Twitter. It hurts. Wait. So the kid's trying to take a break from Twitter? And then he would say it would hurt him if this child was off of Twitter. I'm not leaving for that long or anything. I think it would just be good to have a small break. Okay, yeah. So this is brooming 101. I'd also be scared every night I'd accidentally forget not to tweet after I told him goodnight. Because if he saw me on Twitter, he'd feel like I had lied to him. It was very stressful. This is terrible.
That's crazy. That's insane.
This is insane. He never wanted me to go to sleep. Good night. Are you sure? Get out of here. Get out of here. Ollie is amazing for doing this. Power to Ollie. This is wild. Are you sure? I'm sure. I think let the kid sleep. Let the kid sleep.
Oh, don't even make the kid think about that.
How about stop talking to the kid?
Yeah.
All together and listen to what your family said about this? Okay, good night. Don't leave me. No way. Wait, it's getting late and my sleep medicine is about to make me sleep. Jeez. LOL, good night, Trent. Stop taking meds then, lol. Oh, wow, this guy's a fucking... Sorry, this is really getting a little much for me here. Good night. No, don't leave me. Trent, it's time to...
Go to jail.
Dude, this is... I have to say it like it's time to make a report.
What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. What the fuck is this shit? And this is just casually on Twitter. When Blank said, and thank God did it with Peapod. Wait, what? When Blank said, and thank God did it with Peapod, makes it sound like you two had sex. Why are you doing this, Trent? You got to stop. That emoji too is driving me nuts. I'm sorry. Like the emoji is just stressing me out. Like, I'm sorry. I'm being a predator. Like, what is this emoji? Power to Ollie. This is for, and then now the kids use the emoji. Oh no, it's one of Tim's song lyrics. But she says she couldn't it without you and thanked you. Sounds like you two are a couple. Wow. Like now he's getting like jealous and trying to interfere with friendships of the child. Like we're talking about childhood friendships. This grown ass adult is trying to interfere and make this kid feel guilty and weird about having a friendship and then actualizing a childhood friendship. Did he have pet names for many children? I don't know. Is there more text messages, Becca, when it comes to these kinds of screenshots? Don't pass, don't collect $200 straight to jail. Yeah, like Trent needs to never be allowed in public. Yeah, it's on the internet. It's time to get Trent off the internet. Okay, our phone also taken away. What are you like in person? Ew! I don't know, kind of similar to how I am on the internet. Kid with my internet friends. But if it's with people at dance or just kids I don't know, I'm usually anxious and awkward, lol. So the opposite sometimes with me. How do you think you'd be around me? Out. I literally am out of here. How do you think you'd be around me? I didn't know what I was getting into while reading these tweets because this is the first time looking at them. This is really deeply disturbing. Where is Trent now? Do we know where Trent is? like, as community, people need to keep a serious eye on Trent. Like, this is what is happening. You can't even debate this. This is not debatable. This is straight up predatory behavior. I'm sorry. But like, this is, I don't even feel alleged, whatever. But like, this to me is straight up predatory. What are you like in person? Okay, got that. How would you be around me? You are so creepy. Oh! LA or San Diego or SF, somewhere in Southern California. So LA or SD. Hey, you are cute. Oh, it's brooming 101. It's like, see how it's just starting to escalate? It starts with the secret, then it starts with the nicknames, creating this type of trust, this bond. Then it's talking about the mom. Then it's talking about their sexuality. Then it's going into, this is literally textbook grooming. What we saw the other day on Tuesday when it comes to Pretty Little Liars, like, and this is why Pretty Little Liars, shame on that showrunner. Now actually seeing this and remembering what we were talking about on Tuesday, shame on that showrunner, because that show desensitized probably so many children into thinking that this behavior is not necessarily predatory. Shame on her. Sorry, I'm going to use a shame word right now. I don't even like using it, but I'm just pissed. Because now you think about kids like this, you know what I mean? Watching these shows, and then look at this predator, honestly, coming through and getting access to this kid, using his sister, who has access to children, to gain access to children. This is just, hey, you are cute. Okay, so it's escalating here. He kept talking weirdly about me, and am I, at the time, 15-year-old best friend? When he says Peapod, he is referring to me. We got that. That is, I can't believe he calls Peapod. Maybe you two will run off together, have a family. Lol, I'm probably nuts. You're probably a predator. Like, this is about you being straight up like a predator. What are you doing? What are you, has Trent said anything about this? Colleen said nothing about this? Of course Colleen didn't. Colleen's like, I'm next, or was this before? So did Colleen get these allegations first, and then these messages came out about Colleen's brother afterwards?
I don't know the exact order of how things came out, but like I think stuff happened like a pretty long time ago with the brother, and then they kind of like put that on the wraps, but they didn't actually contain what the brother was doing, and then he was then contacting other people in Colleen's circle that were kids, and then the allegations against Colleen came out, and then more stuff came out about the brother.
Wow.
So that stuff all kind of came out at the same time.
Wow.
And yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. And of course, Colleen doesn't say anything about this behavior. This is really gross. Maybe friends that become part, LOL, just friends. Then he goes, maybe friends that become a part of family? Lol. What? What does that even mean? Oh, here's your cute again. Stop. You guys. You're cute. Okay. How do you look now? Stop. Like, what do I look like right now? This is never ending. How far does this go? Can I hear your normal voice one day? No, you cannot. You want to go to jail? Yes, of course. I'm sure there's a video out there somewhere with my normal voice. I don't know. Ask her DM blank. She would know. No, I want one from you. Guys, this is like just giving me. Most disabled adults don't have that sort of access or power over teens. It's a very unique situation. Is this in regards to him being disabled? Yeah, I mean, this is pretty, I don't know. This is freaking me out. This is now freaking me out almost. I don't know if Jared Leto, maybe, no, this is freaking me out kind of more than Jared Leto right now. Because this is screenshots, talking to a child, calling them pea pod, saying they're cute. Well, she probably knows where one is. I'm not sure. You can make one for me. Nope, we're not making anything for you, Trent. Trent, how do you hug? Is there a video of it? What? Of me hugging someone? Rude. So obviously, okay, so I just want to clarify something. Are we saying that Trent Ballinger is that's obviously what his sister was talking about, that he's disabled? I also, though, don't think that the way that the sister was talking about that, though, like, I don't know. This seems, though, like, you know, preying on a child, using an excuse to talk to teens and having a very famous family. I mean, that's very unusual. Very unusual. I definitely agree. The family is predatory. You know, this is why I'm asking, like, who's the mom and dad of Colleen Ballinger and Trent Ballinger? Like, I don't know. I'm feeling like, I don't know. Because usually, you know, we've learned a lot in the last, like, 10, 15 years when it comes to trauma like this, childhood essay, that, you know, the cycle gets recreated for over and over again. And so this is just kind of weirding me out that what are the odds that two siblings have these types of allegations? And it's specifically with children. It's not like one's children and one's like adults, right? Like both of them have these allegations, children specifically, and just something's giving me the...
Well, they were probably traumatized as kids by their parents or something, and they are like still like, well, like kind of like what I was saying earlier, like they're probably emotionally stunted as children, and they kind of think it's like they don't have the filter of like, oh, I'm an adult and these are children. They're like, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that's what's going on, but
yeah, no, I understand. I just think like, oh, I don't know. I feel like at least Colleen definitely was very much aware of that, because Colleen seems like someone who's actually very business savvy and very like she knows her power, knows her influence. I got that vibe from her, that she's like very business savvy. And so I would feel like she would be very hyper aware of the fact of the power dynamic between her and children. So I wonder, Katie, hey Alexa, I recently turned 30, and as a fellow survivor, I wanted to pay it forward. Happy birthday, Katie. What you're doing is not only necessary, but validating and cathartic to survivors like myself. Hope everyone has a lovely day. Thank you so much, Katie, for being here. Happy birthday. And I hope you have a lovely day as well. God, I keep hearing Peapod in my head. Like, okay, of me hugging someone, and then it continues. You can text me anytime and we'll listen to you without judgment. Okay. You mean DM. Yeah, haha, thanks. What's this KS? It seems like they, you know, keep saying that.
like
No
kiss,
Oh,
maybe.
I don't know. Curious though. No text. If you need someone to talk to, and if Twitter's not there and just needs someone there, no school and life is tough. Ooh, now this is Brooming 101 again. Because remember what we learned in that video on Tuesday,
What does
where
that mean if Twitter's not there?
and if Twitter's not there, like Twitter, like being on Twitter, like I guess this person is a child and is often on Twitter, like
Twitter supporting them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I guess the community of Twitter, like maybe they have a lot of internet friends, because it seemed like Ollie said in the other post about internet friends.
Right.
So maybe that's what they're referring to. But what I find interesting about this is it's literally, again, Brooming 101, where the adult here is trying to, there's a secret, obviously. Like the kids probably told this adult, like, school's tough some days, or has like had those kind of conversations with them. and now is using that as a way for the child to feel like they're in a safe space, like they're here for them, that they're looking out for them. This is Brooming 101. This could be textbook. You could use these text messages and like, that's it. You can literally be like Brooming 101. And you show Pretty Little Liars as a video reference. And then you use these screenshots as a text reference.
Real life.
What'd you say?
Real life.
Yeah, real life. Real. Yeah, we got fake. We got the indoctrination, or like the, I don't even know, the propaganda. I don't know what to call that. And then we got the reality of the thing. And they are mirroring one another. Hey, I really appreciate it. Wait, Nat, I just want to say that him saying I'm not supposed to do this shows he did know. True. He has a disability, but not one that makes him unaware. Interesting, Nat.
Good point, yeah.
Good point. That was actually a very, very good point, Nat. Thanks for sharing that with the group. Okay. So, hey, I really appreciate, and I agree with you, Nat. Hey, I really appreciate it, but I don't feel like it's appropriate for me to text you. And I don't think my mom would want me to either. Oh, here we go. How is he going to respond to this? Let's see how aware he is here. Want me to either, I'm really sorry. No need to apologize. This is so sad that the kid, regardless if I was 16 or not, it is still a problem. It was at least 6 years ago, so you were 10. I was probably 6 or 7, so I barely remember it, but it was the regular Wii and not the Wii U. Cool. I thought you were 16. I have a problem. Ooh, yes you do. Why are you doing this? What's going on here? Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is about Iron Man kissing a Batman? See? Oh, haha. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is either.
Me either.
Okay, what the fuck is that about? What are you talking about? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is it me, or when saying Oscars, she looked like having an orgasm? What is going? Wait, what is this? Oh, here. Maka deserves an Oscar nomination just for that hand. Not sending this to kids. And here's your crush? Oh, nope, lol. So you're going a secret date with your crush? This is really bad. This is getting, now sending this. Wow. It's so sad that the rest of this didn't get as many views as, like, obviously Ollie's first post here, because this is, it gets so much worse. He would call me his little pea pod, but not sure where that came from. Neither do we. He would also DM me at random times with pea pod themed images. It seemed like he was always thinking of me, even when we weren't talking. Of course, this is extremely predatory here. Okay, just don't share our conversations with anyone. Okay, that's the beginning. Where am I missing this? Please go. Where are you? Okay, these are the photos. God, this is like a thread of just straight up crimes. This is a literal, okay, here's where we left off. Okay, he would call me, got that. He was referring to video chatting. What is this? Been a long time since I've done it. You used to do it with blank and blank. I stopped because parents were like, that can get you in trouble. And Colleen posted a video I got mad at. What was the video that Colleen posted? I see Diplo. So what exactly is this video? Your parents or their parents? My parents. Oh, why would it get you in trouble? It's like, what's going on? Because your parents could take it in the wrong way. Like I do something horrible to you. Well, you're already doing something horrible, Trent. So your parents don't let you anymore. Nope. Well, I could, but might get me in trouble. This is so gross what's happening here. Don't eat chips. What? What? You're welcome, my pea pod. God, this pea pod thing and that emoji, it's gonna be in my head, all just ingrained in my brain. You always put on war paint when you're in New York and always look good either way because you're IRP pod. It's makeup, but yes, thank you. No, it's war paint. It covers up whatever you don't want to see. This is so, where does this end? Oh, they show proof of the, what's the pronouns for Ollie? They, them, he? Just want to make sure. I'm just using they as to make sure I'm not. Okay, so I don't know. People probably won't see this part of thread, but just letting everyone know, even though I use she, her pronouns at the time, I use they, he. Oh, wait, great. Answer my question. They. Okay, good. There. Thank you, Ollie. Okay, let's see here. Oh, wow. So this is the proof on the laptop. Okay, this ain't alleged then. This definitely is straight up. Well, you know what, Ollie? I just want to say you are so brave to put this out here. I'm honestly really, yeah. 100%. 100%. And power to Ollie. Trent, this really deeply disturbed me. I can't believe that I'm having to live in a world where, you know, obviously as a parent, the internet exists, and it really, really terrifies me. And knowing obviously what I know already, being a survivor of child, you know, SA, I'm very scared of now knowing that Trent is just out there and Brandon Quinn is just, you know, out there. And it's just really, really scary. And I heard, was this yesterday, you guys, that the tech company CEOs or execs were having to stand in front of, what was it, Senate? I don't know. What happened? It was like recently, and having to talk about if these tech companies are protecting children. If you have a link of it, definitely send it over. But we're going to get into Vince now. But I'm just curious about it because there are not enough protections when it comes to social media, you know, and children. And we know, like, even when I was, 12? I'm trying to think MySpace. Like, there was, like, the age that was allowed on there, and then you would just lie, right? Like, you would, like, Facebook even. I'm thinking about Facebook, actually. I remember Facebook, it was only for college students. That's right. It was only for college students, and I remember, like, wanting to be on Facebook. So you just, like, put in the age that allows you to get into Facebook. And that was the only barrier. It was just like, oh, put in a birth date that adds up to the age that you're allowed to be on there. And that's obviously not enough of a protection, because look how easy it was for so many kids to get on there. And then these predators can say, well, I thought you were this age because Facebook said so. You know what I mean? And you're like, it's very dangerous territory. Very dangerous territory. Yeah, Trent and Colleen are bad news. Agreed. So fucking, I can't even say, I'm like nervous. I'm stalling getting to this Vince guy. So I don't know much about WWE. I didn't grow up watching it. I still honestly haven't watched it. The first clips that I've ever watched in my entire life is of recent, when these allegations came out. These extremely disturbing text messages came out. Then I started going onto Twitter and looking at, you know, what everyone was saying, and people were posting a lot of videos showing Vince, you know, acting in a specific way that obviously now, as we look back, but I really don't think it should be when we look back. I'm really tired of that, because there are not many people that want to behave like this on screen. There are not many people that pitch these types of ideas. There are a lot of incredibly talented people out there that pitch ideas that sexism is not involved, you know, that misogyny is not involved, SA is not involved, respect for the crew, respect for everyone working there. There are many people like that out there. And so when someone is pitching ideas like the ones that Vince have pitched in the past, that should have been personally a red flag for any of the other execs around him. Now, I know that he is the head of the WWE, and it was was it his father or was it his grandfather? I'm not sure. But obviously he inherited the WWE, and so he is the boss. And that can make a lot of people feel obviously intimidated and not speak up when they should. But still, you know, this is very concerning, a lot of the clips that I saw on Twitter. And I was not liking what I was seeing. And I can't believe that that was just happening. And there were things like about his daughter, like his like pretend daughter on the show. Anyways, we're going to get into it. I can't say most of what's in this complaint. This is a complaint I cannot really dig through fully because it's that bad. Every other word is beyond triggering. I don't even want to put the survivors here through that because it is beyond disgusting. It is beyond disturbing. But I am going to highlight certain things. We're going to move through things so that we at least understand what happened here and why this is pretty major news in the sense of how powerful he was and how he was allegedly able to cover up his criminal behavior with his power and with his money for a very long time, and with NDAs, with actual NDAs. And this brave reported survivor has come forward and paved the way for so many more, apparently, to come forward as well. So let's get into who is Vince. Is that how you say it, McMahon?
Vince McMahon, yeah.
Yeah, okay. God, McMahon. I have a joke last name. No offense to anybody who actually knows a chill last name with McMahon, but McMahon. All right, here's a Rolling Stone article, and I feel like this will be a little bit of a safer way to navigate this current lawsuit. So WWE founder, oh, I got to move this over.
I'm just going to show you so you can.
Yeah, show me. Oh. Okay. I need to make it a little bit smaller. I can't make it much smaller. Okay, there we go.
I think you're actually just good like that.
You sure?
At the bigger one, yeah.
Okay, so
Words.
all right. WWE founder Vince McMahon accused of SA and TRAFFICKING in new lawsuit. Former employee alleges that McMahon coerced her to have sex with WWE staffers while also engaging in her own increasingly depraved demands. God, look at this person. This person just spooks me out looking at him, not gonna lie. Now, in the WWE, you guys, like, did people like this guy?
No, he was basically like, he was a villain character in the, it was like he was like the owner, but he was like a villain owner.
He was a villain owner. So everyone like hated him like on purpose. Like he was.
Yeah, like when I was watching, it wasn't even WE then, it was WWF, and The Rock was a big deal in the WWF.
Right, The Rock is the WWE.
And The Rock was like he was the people's champ or something like that. He was the people's champ, and like his arch enemy kind of was Vince McMahon.
Got it. So he was just already the villain.
Yeah.
Because he looks like, I can't look at him and not think villain.
Everything about Vince McMahon is like he is the archetype type of himself.
Right, okay. Like he just put it all out there.
Yeah, he leans into what he is.
Right.
Full-heartedly.
Disgusting.
McMahon. Vince
McMahon is accused of SA and blank in a new lawsuit filed by a former, against the WWE founder and his wrestling company. Good to hear that the wrestling company is also being sued. In 2020, McMahon announced he was stepping down from the WWE amid an internal investigation that found allegations of a hush money payment to a former employee, with McMahon allegedly paying a secret $3 million to the then unnamed female, a WWE paralegal, to keep their consensual affair private. Doubt that. However, on Thursday, the woman Janelle Grant, who was hired in the specially made role of administrator coordinator in WWE's legal department, filed a lawsuit against McMahon. WWE head of talent relations John Laurinaitis, I'm sorry if I'm like John Laurinaitis, I think that's like, sorry guys, I can't figure it out. And the wrestling company outlining years of alleged SAs. Among the more startling allegations in the lawsuit obtained by Rolling Stone is McMahon's demands, God, that's ridiculous, two words together, that Grant make herself sexually available to both himself and Laurinaitis, as well as an unnamed WWE corporate officers and a WWE superstar. Given McMahon's omnipotent position at WWE, coercion was inherent in his increasingly depraved demands, the lawsuit states. Specifically, while McMahon was CEO of WWE and Miss Grant was employed as an entry-level coordinator in the legal department, McMahon recruited individuals to having relations with Miss Grant and or with the two of them, directed Miss Grant to visit defendant Laura Ninitis prior to the start of workdays for encounters, and expected and directed Miss Grant to engage in activity at the WWE headquarters even during working hours. McMahon also, per the suit, subjected Miss Grant to acts of extreme cruelty and degradation that caused Miss Grant to disassociate and or become numb to reality in order to survive the horrific encounters. And when you see what he was allegedly doing, the screenshots, they're horrible. This is the work environment of WWE. And you better believe that they all were very much aware of Vince's alleged behavior. Because what I see in each institution, labels, studios, production companies, agencies, there are always bystanders. There are always people hearing whispers, rumors, as CCR puts it, or as Colleen Ballinger says, gossip, and they know. And a lot of people choose really not to do anything. And I understand that also it's very scary to do something, because most of the time these companies will protect the alleged predator and fire the bystander who comes forward to HR. That happens a lot. Here's Travis Moore. As an independent pro wrestler, it makes me think of quitting professional wrestling and considering other avenues, eating predators and still hungry. Travis! That's really sad, though, that this person, this alleged predator, is ruining it for so many people that actually wholeheartedly, authentically enjoy, let's say, wrestling, and don't want to harm people, don't engage in harming people, have ruined this. And this is why I think it's really important that allies understand how important this work is, standing up for survivors, advocating for them, is because these alleged predators ruin it for so many people. Not even just the survivor, but bystanders. They get these bystanders fired or demoted, or they do, make sure they never work again. Or then you also have fans, for example, let's say females, who don't even want to get into the music industry after seeing the extreme risks when it comes to entering the industries. And the reason why we really want to believe survivors and listen to them is because we should all collectively want to make sure that whatever environment a human being is entering into, engaging with, that they're safe. And most of the time, the only way we learn it isn't is through somebody who expresses to us what happened to them as a warning to others. And it's just a bummer to read Travis's message, because I think that's also happened for a lot of musicians. That's happened for a lot of actors. And it's really, really sad to read that. And also, yes, e-predators. Chris, thank you so much for covering this, Alexa. It's so close to my heart and needs to be exposed. Thank you for using your platform to expose and help pro wrestling survivors. Of course, Chris, I'm proud to be here. It is an honor, and thank you for being here. Chris was the one actually who showed me the complaint, and I can't even finish it. It's that bad. Okay, Chris, so nice to see you here. Thank you for everything. Okay, so here we go. In perhaps the most shocking claim, Grant alleges that on May 9th, 2020, McMahon, can I say
Yeah.
Okay, defecated. This is so gross. Defecated on Miss Grant during a threesome, and then commanded her to continue blank her friend with feces in her hair. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is one I haven't heard yet. This takes some serious bravery to be able to, like, I just feel like, sorry, I'm speechless. I think Vince McMahon definitely maybe more speechless than Jared Leto at this point. But thinking about how the survivor, like how everyone's just writing these words and talking about this very traumatizing and horrific thing that happened to her in detail. I mean, what he did was very humiliating and extremely dehumanizing. And like, it's her name. It's like, you know what I mean? And when people say like, oh, that survivor's, in it for the money. If this happened to you, you want people to know about it? You want people to be reading this and talking about this? No. No, you don't. Feces in her hair and running down her back as a survivor of image-based essay and wrestling. Thank you. Travis, thank you. No, thank you for being here. Bums me. Thank you so much, Travis, for being here. And power to you, Travis. This is really disturbing. This is really, really disturbing. Hope she gets justice. With feces in her hair and running down her back, while McMahon, this is trigger warning, everyone, while McMahon went to the bathroom to shower off, upon his return from the bathroom, McMahon and his friend actively resumed the threesome. And this has happened to so many people who have worked for specifically, usually most of the time, I'm not saying all the time, but a lot of the time, white, powerful men. And the privilege and the abuse of power is out of control. And power does impact consent, okay? It does. You can say, oh, there's text messages. I heard people like, well, was it consensual? No. You think this is consensual? This is her boss. Her frickin' boss. And how beyond dehumanizing is this experience? But on top of that, the power that he has over her, that he can just take her job away, that he can also take many jobs away from her, because that's what a lot of these alleged predators do, by the way. I hear it all the time that they say no, right? Like a very firm no or something, and like go tell on them, like right away. And they get fired. And then guess what? That alleged predator now thinks it's his job to go around and tell other companies not to hire her or them or he. And they lose their whole freaking career. I mean, we read that lawsuit, Harvey Weinstein was in the lawsuit, but also that other freaking guy who owns the Knicks or whatever, whatever his name is, alleged predator, bazillion, whatever, but lost her whole career of really wanted to be a masseuse or wanted to be a massage therapist. Loved that job. Was a passion of hers and couldn't even do it anymore. Her own passion was triggering. Her own passion became triggering. You don't think these survivors deserve justice? Some form of reparations? Come on. It's pretty gnarly. Imagine the one thing you love is also taken away from you. The one thing that should be healing, right? When something bad happens, usually your passion is the thing that you go to when something bad happened to you. you're like, oh, at least I can go paint, right? Or at least I can, what if the thing that is your passion becomes your trigger and reminds you of what happened to you? It's very freaking serious. It's very serious. Okay, so let's get back to this article here. Upon his return from the bathroom, McMahon and his friend actively resumed the threesome. Honestly, the essay, which lasted over an hour and a half, while Miss Grant remained covered in McMahon's filth. Oh my God, I can't. Making me nauseous. When McMahon's friend left, McMahon ordered her to stay and to continue gratify him. The lawsuit also cites a June 2021 incident where McMahon and Lauren Titus cornered her and pulled her in between them, forcibly blanked before ultimately putting her on top of a table in between them. She begged them to stop, but they forced themselves on her, each taking turns. So this is sounding a lot like the Brian Freeman lawsuit I read. Who is this Laurinaitis? It's reminding me of gingivitis. I'm sorry, I'm like, how do you pronounce this name? And who is this? Incident where so this is someone he would do this with? Who is this in WWE? Trent Ballinger is the older brother of Colleen YouTube pattern. We're still in Trent. What happened to Krista? I'm seeing something happened here. My dream job and what I got my degree in and spent my life doing gone. Now it triggers me. So I'm so sorry, Krista. I'm so sorry. You do not deserve that. And it's very real. And I want people to really start seeing that. That these predators, oh, here we go. Who is this? This is who was doing this with him? Allegedly?
Yup.
Ooh, my boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Would you think, like, that's somebody who I feel like I would see at freaking, honestly, Trader Joe's grocery shopping in, like, LA. Like, I wouldn't even think, honestly, at face value that that person is necessarily participating in something like this. Pretty interesting. I mean, it looks like he's creepy. Here. Let me see that. Like, oh, there I see it.
You're like, oh, yeah, that guy.
Oh.
He's like the worst.
So he's a professional wrestler.
Dad.
Uh-huh. Wait, what'd you say?
He's like a worst nightmare dad.
He's a total worst nightmare dad. He's an alleged dad and a worst nightmare dad. Look at that shirt. What does that even say?
People power.
Oh, well, you know what? We should power to survivors, gingivitis. Whatever the frick your what is his last name? Laurinaitis. I just see gingivitis. He's gingivitis to me forever. That's honestly what he is. Okay, let's just continue. Okay, so cornered her, pulled her between them. Okay, we got this. She begged them to stop, but they blank, 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 each taking turns restraining her from the other while saying no means yes. Oh. And take it bitch. And this is something that I've heard that the porn industry allows this type of content, by the way, to be very easily accessible to the world. The Google search away, right? For free, even.
Apparently that dude
gingivitis?
Tyrone S. Scott has been like just dropping a lot of info on this stuff. Apparently they know a bunch of what's going on. He used to be
head of talent relations. Yeah. Got it. Okay,
Andy was a wrestler, yeah.
Got it. He was head of talent relations. Okay, Mr. Gingivitis.
And wrestled under the name Johnny Ace, says the Watts.
Johnny Ace. Okay. The thing, though, that I was going to say here is that porn on the internet has created no barriers or no morals when it comes to what is accessible to children, by the way. And children are surfing the internet and searching shit and getting a hold of content like this individual's trauma. And they're watching it as if it is consensual. And we're talking about disturbing, dehumanizing content that is created when it comes to, from my knowledge of what I've heard from people, is women, literally being dehumanized, and it's easily accessible for children. And not only easily accessible for children, but adults, obviously. And what I'm afraid of is people watching those things and thinking, because they get desensitized to it, basically the same thing that we were talking about with Pretty Little Liars and how that show desensitized, right? Desensitized a whole generation of children into predatory behavior, hypernormalizing it. I fear when it comes to PORN that it definitely does the same. And the fact that what I'm reading here is definitely accessible on the internet to watch really freaks me out. And there needs to be some type of, I know, what's the law? Obscenity law? I know that obscenity law exists, but it's never really practiced, or it's never really put into practice. There needs to be some type of, I don't know, human morality when it comes to a lot of this content. Because I feel like when some people read what her trauma is right here, for example, and they've seen that content, they intertwine the two and they think consent or they think consensual. And it really just freaks me out. You know what I mean? Hopefully I'm making sense here, but it just kind of freaks me out. It's really easily accessible and it's very dehumanizing, and PORN makes it look like it's a very consensual experience. So that's all I'm going to say about that. It's just, human decency law. There we go. Human decency. Not even in place whatsoever. Okay, what else did you do here, allegedly, McMahon? A spokesperson for McMahon said in a statement to Rolling Stone, this lawsuit is replete with lies. How many times are these lawyers going to say this? This lawsuit with lies. Obscene, made-up instances. Made-up instances. Aren't there text messages? Aren't there text messages of your client talking just like this? Screenshots? Just like Trent Ballinger over there? Is that Travis? What's his name? Trent? Trent. Okay. Wow. And then you have the nerve to say that this reported survivor is full of lies. Come on. And vindictive distortion of the truth. Get out of here. He will vigorously defend himself. Cool. Let's watch him do it. Let's see how that goes. The wrestling, the ring is not going to be rigged for him though this time. Okay. Good luck in court. Good luck in court. I love when these lawyers say it ooh, vigorously. You know how many of these individuals just settle? Or they, you know what I mean? Or lose? Or the jury? I mean, Trump even, which we're going to get into today, $83.3 million and $5 million? Woo! And that's Donald Trump. And he said the same thing, I can't wait to go to court, blah, blah, blah. And then you're like, oh yeah, really? Let's look at those screenshots. Let the judge look at those screenshots and that you were a boss. Horrible. Grant first met McMahon in March 2019, a time when, according to the suit, she was dealing with profound grief and struggling financially. After devoting years to around-the-clock caregiving, her parents passed away. Okay. On top of that, she was unemployed and her family home was lost in her parents' bankruptcy. Sad. She and McMahon lived in the same apartment building, the lawsuit says, and the building's resident manager offered to connect Grant and McMahon with the hope of finding employment within WWE. McMahon befriended Miss Grant, giving her hopes of a new life with promises of a yet-to-be-determined role at WWE, and showering her with attention and assurances, along with gifts like a VIP experience at WrestleMania. The lawsuit states, but what seemed like a dream in spring of 2019 quickly became a nightmare, as McMahon dangled career-making and life-changing promises in front of Miss Grant. He demonstrated an increasing lack of boundaries. During several meetings that were ostensibly about a potential job at WWE, I understand, he greeted her in his underwear and blanked her, repeatedly asked for hugs. Sorry, that was just triggering from my own trauma for a second. And spent hours sharing intimate details about his personal life. McMahon is also accused of showing sexually explicit photos and videos of Grant to fellow WWE employees. So image-based essay as well. Cool. Including a world-famous athlete and former UFC heavyweight champion with whom WWE was actively trying to sign to a new contract, and ultimately did sign that contract. Unsurprisingly, others at WWE knew what was going on, but instead of intervening to protect Miss Grant, WWE actively sought to conceal the wrongdoing. Sound familiar? I mean, these industries, these institutions are carbon copies of one another. They do the same thing over and over and over again. They do the opposite of this. Just flip this, and that's what they do. You know how much more we would know about these institutions that are covering up SA if we could get them to release survivors from NDAs where there weren't 50,000 per violation judgments over their head if they say something. Imagine what we would get to know and how much safer work environments would become if we were able to hear what survivors have to say. Because if we hear what they have to say, we can learn how to make sure that doesn't happen again. But instead, when you cover it up, guess what happens? Access to more victims. More people get lifelong trauma. And it's a never-ending cycle. It's just a never-ending cycle, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And with, I know an NDA where the actual institution's name is on the NDA. Can you freaking believe this? Is on the NDA. That institution, that company, that corporation also can't talk about the crime. I mean, institutions covering up crimes, right? Wild, in their own HR department. And I hear a lot about specific HR. A lot of HR positions are usually given to women because of misogyny, more trusting, right? And it's ridiculous. But these women will literally call the survivor, and we're talking actual company money is going to covering up crimes. It's pretty wild. So I'm not really surprised by this WWE situation is what I'm trying to say, is because it seems like all of these companies have been doing this for a very long time. All right, by 2022, McMahon's wife, Linda, a member of the Trump administration's cabinet, found out about Vince and Grant's relationship. I don't like that word. And as he told Grant, threatened to divorce him. As a result, McMahon lobbied Grant to sign the NDA that ultimately led to his temporary departure from the WWE. He returned to the company's board of directors in January 2023. See how they do it? Just, we're washing hands, but then we just move him back in over here. And guess what happens to an alleged predator? They don't think that there's no consequences to their actions. There's none. So they just go, I'll be protected no matter what. And I'll just get the power right back into my hands one way or another and get more access to victims. He returns to the company's board of directors in January 2023, less than 6 months after he retired. After Grant's $3 million NDA was finally signed after weeks of legal wordsmithing, Grant went to McMahon's condo to review outstanding business items. Once there, however, McMahon allegedly commanded Grant to do one last thing and get on your knees. After even signing the NDA, he still did that. This allegedly. Disgusting. He seems like somebody who just really is not going to stop. As Mr. Grant knelt on the hard floor, barely a few feet away from the front door, trigger warning, McMahon opened his robe and ordered her to eat him. Wow! Eat predators. McMahon grabbed the back of Miss Grant's head and slammed her face into blank a couple of times until she blanked and pushed him away. I'm going to highlight this because I want everyone to know what allegedly McMahon did here. Telling him to stop and that she couldn't breathe, the lawsuit alleges. McMahon, oh, God, what he looks like now, too. Jeez. McMahon responded that she wouldn't get away that easily and held her head as he forced himself back in her blank until she had no air. McGrant tried to push him away, but he held her head firmly in place and loudly commanded her to look up, followed by take it bitch. Wow, this fuck. They momentarily made eye contact before McMahon's force caused McGrant's body to convulse and retch with tears streaming down her face. McMahon then released his hold, closed his robe as she stood up. After leaving, Miss Grant never saw McMahon again. No one wants to see McMahon ever again. No one wants to see McMahon ever again. I don't want to see him ever again. Anywhere. Anywhere.
I'd like to see him in jail.
Yeah, there you say it. I knew that was going to come.
Yeah, I'd like to see him
behind bars
in an orange jumpsuit.
Maybe he can be roomies with Danny Masterson.
I'd like to see him in hand and feet cuffs.
Oh my God. It's all like, honestly, this person is beyond disturbing. This is deeply, by the way, you guys, this article is not even, this is like the vanilla, like, I don't want to say vanilla. This is like the more safer version that I found to be able to say here on YouTube. The complaint is out of control. No jail, straight to volcano. Love that. Wait, who said that? Brandon? No jail, straight to volcano. With that. And that's like a little Scientology. Isn't that like the origin of whatever with Scientology? That they're like birthed out of the volcano and like the souls are in there or something?
Yes, probably.
It is. Yes, probably. Oh, God, I need to laugh for a second. All right. This is horrible. Grant's lawsuit states that McMahon later failed to live up. Oh, guess how he got exposed? Remember Danny Elfman's story? Remember good old Elfman? Who got exposed because he forgot, or his people that he hires forgot to pay the rest of his NDA settlement to a reported survivor. Remember that? Well, it looks like McMahon fucked up in the exact same way for himself. And that is why everyone's like, oh, want the money. McMahon couldn't even remember to pay his agreed upon settlement. And now, sadly, this reported survivor is in a position where she has to, not only for herself, get what was obviously agreed upon, for privacy, probably also was very deeply intimidated into this. And who wants anyone to know about this, that this happened to you? You want every time you go into a job interview, they know this? I mean, and this is worldwide news. Worldwide news. This can ruin your life because of the patriarchy and because of how so many people stand with alleged predators versus survivors. It's like seeing some of the victim blaming that I saw on Twitter where it's like, no, dude. No one wants this being known. They just don't. And the only way they would do this is to make sure this fucking never happens to anyone else again. And by the way, from what I saw here, let's show my screen actually for a second. It looks like here Ann Callis, Janelle Grant's attorney on the lawsuit aimed at Vince McMahon, said that her office and her inbox have had a barrage of people wanting to come forward to attest about this culture of corruption and also possible victims. We are just beginning now to wade through all this, but we're frankly overwhelmed. I'm sure. And you know what? I was speaking to a survivor last night. We were just talking about some things. And they told me that they would always compare like how hard it is to be the first one to come forward. And no one talks about that. Or to be the only one, right? In a culture of patriarchy, they only care when more than one person is harmed. They only care if it's a pattern. But what's interesting about it is that most times, just because one person has come forward doesn't mean that other people haven't been harmed. They just choose either not to come forward or they've already been silenced by the alleged predator. And it's all behind the scenes like this, what we're reading right now. But it's so hard to be the first one because you're the first one. And you're usually isolated and alone, and it's scary. It's very, very scary. And so when you're the first one also going up against someone as extremely powerful like this individual who's worth billions of dollars, by the way. I didn't realize this individual is worth billions of dollars, kind of like P. Diddy. It is really admirable and very deeply inspiring that she was able to put her name also out there. And I know how hard that is. And I just want to say that. I just really want to say that. He is disgusting, including making the negotiated payments. So failed to pay. He failed to pay. That as well. Oh, that as well as the Speaks Out Act. So I do want to tell everybody here, survivors out there, if you are in an NDA, a bill recently passed called the Speak Out Act, and it makes NDAs about SA void. You can challenge it in front of a judge. So if you have an NDA that you want to speak up about right now, you can. The law does protect you right now. Right now. And I didn't know this until literally 4 days ago. I was on a conference call with a bunch of people, and they told me that the Speak Out Act passed and that there have been a lot of survivors using that to be able to speak up when it comes to their predators. So if you're out there, NDA, SA, you can do it. You actually can speak up and speak out. Yeah. I didn't know that. If I was in that situation, you know, I would want to know that. So just agreed. Round of applause that actually passed. Right? We should all applaud that, honestly. I mean, it's a pretty big deal. And that should have been all over the news. But no, I'm telling you, so many people do not want people to know that. Better to let them figure it out on their own, right? Let's see how that rolls out for a lot of individuals. Okay, so that as well as the Speaks Out Act that makes the Non-Disclosure Act unenforceable caused Grant to file the lawsuit. Power to Grant! Power to Grant! We'll never be divided. Yeah! This makes me very happy. This is good news at the end of here. The severe restrictions of the NDA have created a wedge in all of Miss Grant's relationships and left her in a perpetual state of isolation, as her family has passed away and she cannot and does not lean on the support of the community due to the NDA's restrictions, the lawsuit added. Horrible. I know NDAs where you can't talk to your therapist about what happened to you. You can't even heal. Further, Miss Grant has experienced weight loss, insomnia, rashes, flashbacks to her exploitation, nightmares, panic attacks, and depression. Miss Grant will go days without brushing her teeth, taking a shower, or washing her clothes. Very specific. And I'm sure a lot of survivors in here can relate to that. That brought tears to my eyes. Just basic things you can't do anymore. On many days, she doesn't even leave her bed. Disgusting, Vince McMahon. Disgusting. I hope justice is served. I really, really do. And Power Grant and all of the reported or possible future reported survivors coming forward about Vince. He sounds like a fucking monster. And they survived. And they survived. So sad. So looking at this, I have the text messages here. I mean, they're just so deeply disturbing. I don't know if anyone's seen them on the internet, but they are like, I can't even believe this is fucking real. I can, because, you know, these people exist. But it is very shocking, and I'm not going to pull them up. But what I do want to pull up is, okay, here's a couple things. So Vince McMahon's profile on WWE's official website has been eradicated. Nice. Bye. 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 Look what it says now when you dig into Vince McMahon. This is what you are not authorized to access this page. We don't want to. We don't want to. But so I was playing this on Tuesday, and this was very alarming to me because look at this situation. And we just read Grant's story, right? We just read what Grant had to say. And now when you look at this performance here that is on national television, by the way, it really plays out a very, you know, desensitizing this type of dynamic again. Like with Pretty Little Liars, it made it the student teacher, and here it is the person who is employed and the boss. So let's just play this for a second. Tool too, right? I'm sorry. Guy's a tool. Look at this guy. I can't believe making it look like this power dynamic that's happening right now is consensual. See how like the whole thing's set up? What was it called in the Pretty Little Liars video that we were watching that was so good? Framed perception framing. And I loved that. I actually did not know about perception framing, and it's a very good thing to, you know, take note of, because these showrunners, people that are obviously behind the camera, you know, they're able to frame these things in the way that they want the audience to perceive them. That benefits either the plot of the story or it benefits the agenda. So, you know, this seems like that, right? Am I wrong? This seems exactly like that. Look how they're framing Vince. That this woman just just all about him. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Let's continue to play this for him. I'm sorry, like what's happening? They also look so small considering like how huge the venue is. Like it's just kind of weird. Who can even see what's happening all the way far up there? I mean, obviously I'm sure there's screens, but still, this is just absurd. What's the point of this exactly? Other than to tell on Vince?
It's just like he thinks it's like entertainment.
It's his kind of entertainment.
Yeah, and like I think it's like, you know, he thinks it's like what
the patriarchy?
Yeah, it's like he's like the epitome of like the capitalistic pig.
Right.
And like he's like just leaning into that full tilt, and then then thinking that it's cool and showing it off to like all the people. Like he's like, yeah, this is the dream. I'm living it, and you're like watching me live it. Right. And they're like, yeah, like testosterone. This is it. Yeah, this is great.
Right. That makes sense, actually. That makes sense. And he's also like, you know, like that whole thing where they make these roles or they show these performances and then they lean on the role or the performance to be like, well, that's not really who I am. You know, like
Right, like
that
I'm playing
happens
a
a lot.
character.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, but you're actually kind of seeing what this person's kind of actually like behind the scenes.
Well, it's also one thing if you do just play as like a character and then you're like a complete sweetheart in real life. Like on the Daily, is it the Daily Show where they like have like they always have like a dude that like plays like a conservative and like he's like super
The opposite?
funny as a conservative, but yeah, he's actually like, you know, a Democrat or whatever.
Or like what's his name from Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever. I've heard like that guy, they talk about like how he plays like these kind of like looks like villain roles, but then he's like the
He's just
nicest
actually
guy
a
on
sweetheart.
set.
Yeah.
It's different with acting, but with this, like, he's the one who's actually pitching these ideas, by the way. So it's like kind of different sometimes when someone is making up the concepts in a room together and it's a collaborative effort. That's a different situation. But what I was reading online is that for a lot of it, he was the one, he apparently, allegedly, wanted to do an episode where he got his daughter pregnant.
Right.
And you're like, if that came across my desk, I'd be like, why? There's no other reason. Who would want that to be ever played out? No normal person would ever want that to be played out. That should have been red flag number 1. Wait, which is China? Who passed? Wait, do I see my mom in there? Okay, let's continue this. We get the gist of this. Okay, how far is this gonna go, honestly? Oh, whoa! And wait, Stacey was only 19 when she was signed? Oh, he's freaking me out. Go away, go away. God, he is disgusting. That clip is ridiculous. So here, see, anyone remember when Vince McMahon wanted to do a storyline where his daughter Stephanie became pregnant by him? Apparently this is a thing. And then it says, yeah, and he wanted Shane to be revealed to be the father and not him, if I'm not mistaken. Like, this is a thing. Maybe Chris can say. I don't remember that, but that's disgusting. Yeah, what is this? Like, this should have been serious red flags here. It seems like people actually remember this. Yes. I don't want to see that. Okay, so moving on. Now, this freaked me out. I only saw the first, 15 seconds of this, and I was already like, okay, I'm saving this to be here with you guys and witness this. I can't believe this aired. And it seems a little bit too close to what's being alleged. What? I mean, do we all, what? Are we hearing that sentence the same way, every one of us here? Intense, by the way. Is this what WWE's like all the time? Just curious, because this
kind of. It's
really?
Very
campy?
Dramatic theater and they're all it's like they're not good they're not good actors, right? You know what I mean?
Right, that's the whole point, though.
They're made to act, and it's super corny, and you're like, wait, what the hell's happening?
But it's also a lot of energy. Like, this kind of, for me personally, it's so intense. Like, I was just
they're always yelling at each other.
Yeah,
and doing weird pranks on each other and stuff that are not even so much of a prank, but kind of just hazing.
Yeah, like frat house shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just patriarchy. It's like making things that should be seen sometimes maybe as harmful, but as a prank or a joke or just messing around with one another. But sometimes too far. Like, I'm guessing that sometimes this hazing is a very intense word. Hazing is usually done physical, sometimes harm, right? From what I've seen when it comes to hazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. They'll do weird things like that where, I don't know, someone will fall out of the roof onto somebody or something, you know what I mean? Weird
right,
things.
like Jackass.
Yeah, almost Jackass-esque type things.
Okay. All right. So I'm surprised. No, I wonder if there's been any lawsuits when it comes to that.
I've seen this a few times in the chat, but apparently this is his stage daughter, but also real daughter.
Wait, what?
That's
Wait,
what I've been
stage
seeing.
daughter, but also real daughter?
Yes. It is his daughter.
Wait, that's his real daughter?
Yeah, Stephanie McMahon is her name.
Oh, I didn't even realize that. Holy Wait.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Stephanie McMahon. Yeah.
Wow, this promo by Stephanie McMahon implying she was blanked at 17 years old, along with the follow-up in ring promo where Vince McMahon talks about Steph being deflowered, has somehow aged so much worse. It feels kind of real now. First it was like kind of campy, but now it's starting to make me feel like it's kind of convincing now. Get it? Convincing? Is his name Vince? Convincing now. It's 100% convincing now. Thank you. Thank you. I needed that to get through this. All right. So basically that exists.
I won't care about you anymore.
All right. Okay. That's disgusting. Apparently there's something else here. I just want to pull that. I don't know what it is.
WWF Women's Champion. Dad, what I really wanted to talk to you about was Triple H. I'd really love it if you let Triple H take on The Rock tonight. I mean, besides the fact that...
Why is she talking to him like this? This is like borderline... Oh, we are? Oh, good to know. We're getting copyright warnings, which means they're going to have to mute this part when whoever doesn't get to watch it live. And the other... Oh, you mean the one I just played before? I'm sure it did. I'm sure everyone's getting those copyright situations when it comes to WWE right now. If Miko is listening, maybe he could mute that part. But I wanted to play this anyways because it's fucking, like, people should see that this was what was on national television. To me, watching this without even knowing what the allegations are, for example, I still find these all to be extremely red flags. Like, him, the deflowering of his daughter, and now I realize it is his actual daughter, which is so scary that he actually pitched that idea, where he pitched an idea saying that he wanted to get his daughter pregnant, and it's his actual daughter playing his daughter on the show. Just fucking gross. This guy's gross. Look at this also. Look at Donald Trump. This is a perfect segue, actually, because, so I guess Vince and Donald the Trump is friends with one another. In the last 48-hour period, Vince McMahon is exposed as a S trafficker. Trump is forced to pay $83.3 million for R, and that is wrong. That is wrong, by the way, that tweet. It's a little bit more interesting than that. Donald Trump is forced to pay $83.3 million for defaming a survivor. Which, by the way, I couldn't find any other lawsuit, but maybe someone can show me. This is a historical moment for survivors because usually we hear the alleged predators suing survivors for defamation because as NDAs have been harder to get signed by survivors, they've resorted to defamation cases as a way to try to smear the survivor's truth. And well, this survivor sued Trump for saying that the R didn't happen, which is really incredible. I wanted to end this episode with that today. So we're going to read a little bit about it because I think it's a very inspirational story, especially since this woman is older also and had a lot of stigma around her coming forward about, you know, the obvious things of like, why did she wait so long to come forward about this? There was a lot of ageism that went around her coming forward, and she's been saying it for years. And with the look back window, she was able to file a lawsuit against Trump about R-ing her. And when she filed that, she also filed a defamation suit against him because he publicly said that she was lying, that she was like crazy and all of this shit, which is what they usually do, to be quite honest. And if a survivor even dared to talk like that, they would be in a serious, it's terrifying. It'd be terrifying. You'd be sued immediately. Trump says that. And you have to remember Trump's survivor is, like, I guess, a very well-known journalist. And now she became known as, you know, Trump's survivor and also this person who was lying about Trump. And really, there was a lot of attempt to ruin her career. And she sued him. And she won. So it's a new day for survivors. You better watch out, alleged predators. You hear the word on the street? Survivors are suing their predators for defamation when they say that the R didn't happen. What's that going to be like? Cheers to that. Cheers to that. I want to see more of that, actually. So we're going to read a little bit. Wait, oh my God, that's them there. Let me find, actually, I have to pull up. Just give me a moment here. I have to pull up. Where are you? I want this one. Give me this. We're going to read this inspiring story when it comes to E. Jean Carroll. So here it is. I can move it around here. Yeah, go ahead. Bathroom break. Oh, there it is. I don't know if I have to move this around here. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's okay. There we go. All right. Wyatt's going to be right back, so it's just us now for this finale. And I think it's really, really important to know that this exists, that a survivor... Look at this smile. Look at the smile of E. Jean Carroll. It looks like a survivor who just won. Who really, really won. I love seeing her smile too. So let's read about this. It's very, very important. Oh, well, my God. Wait, why can't I see the whole article? Oh, wait, yes, I can. Okay, wait. I was like, wait, no. Okay, and a Manhattan jury has ordered Donald Trump to pay $83.3 million to E. Jean Carroll for defamatory statements made against her in 2019. Back in September, a federal judge found the former president liable for the statements against Carroll, the writer, who accused Trump of R-ing her in the 90s. On Friday, the jury found that Trump should pay $65 million in punitive damages and $18.3 million in compensatory, I can't even speak anymore. It's been over 3 hours, guys. More than 8 times what Carroll asked for in her initial lawsuit. They gave more. You hear that, alleged predators? They gave her more. Carroll, what? No. There we go. Carroll first came forward with her allegations in 2019 in a 2019 New York Magazine essay writing that Trump attacked her in Bergdorf Goodman dressing room in 1995 or 1996. Trump quickly fired back that Carroll was not his type. You know, like predators really even honestly have a type, right? Sometimes there's not a rhyme or reason when it comes to certain predators. Look at him trying to diss her. Carroll was not his type and insisted he did not know her. In November of that year, Carroll sued Trump for defamation. 3 years later, thanks to the passage of the New York state law that opened a 1-year window for civil cases that would normally fall outside the statute of limitations, she sued him again, filing a civil suit against Trump for both SB and defamation. That's the suit that went to trial last year. Trump opted not to testify, instead appearing via an hours-long deposition video in which he claimed he had never met Carroll and called her allegations a hoax. Sounds like him. At the same time, he was unable to tell Carroll apart from one of his ex-wives in a photo. Wow. The jury found him liable for SA and defamation, though not for R, and awarded her $5 million in damages. After the verdict came in, Trump said he planned to appeal, and hours later called Carroll a whack job. in a CNN town hall, describing the case as fake news and asserting that the trial was rigged. He repeated his old claim that he had no idea who this woman is. Shortly thereafter, Carroll's attorney petitioned Judge Kaplan to add not only the verdict to Carroll's original 2019 suit, but Trump's subsequent We're late. It's over 3 hours right now. Statements as well. These, the filing reportedly argued, show the depth of the malice towards Carroll, since it's hard to imagine defamatory conduct that could possibly be more motivated by hatred, ill will, or spite. Kaplan allowed Carroll to amend her complaint, prompting her to seek at least $10 million more from Trump. Well, this is getting wild. In June, however, Trump countersued Carroll, claiming she actually defamed him when in a post-trial interview, she reiterated her belief that he arred her. But Kaplan dismissed that bid, ruling that her remarks were substantially true. In light of the verdict and that Trump hadn't proved she made them with actual malice. After the verdict was read on Friday, Carroll hugged her lawyers. Meanwhile, Trump called the verdict absolutely ridiculous, of course. In a post on Truth Social, writing that he will be appealing this whole Biden-directed witch hunt. I don't like when these guys use the word witch hunt because that was like basically, that was legit a femicide. Stop using that word. It's the wrong word to use for whatever you're even trying to say. Witch hunt focused on me and the Republican Party. The Republican Party is even embarrassed of you, bro. This most recent trial was the first of several for Trump, who is facing more than 90 criminal charges in Georgia, Florida, New York, and Washington, D.C. Those include conspiracy to defraud the United States, conspiracy against the right to vote, withholding documents from official proceedings, and falsifying business records, among many other accusations. The D.C. case is scheduled for March 4th, 2024. His New York trial is set for March 25th, 2024. Wow, has he been sued a fucking bunch? How many times can he be sued? And the Florida proceedings will begin on May 20th, 2024. All the while, he's be campaigning for president again. Boo, we don't want you. Trump. Isn't it interesting how Trump knew this Vince dude, alleged predator, also Epstein, and now look where he's at. But what I found very inspiring about this, this win right here.
Also the Victoria's Secret guy.
Yeah, that guy.
They're like all like just the same person
multiplied.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's like a web of the same thing. But what I find very inspiring, look at this smile. I just wanted to end all that triggering stuff with this survivor smile here, because this is a survivor who not only won when it came to her case, when it came to SB, but also a survivor who has went up against a very powerful man and sued him for defamation, for claiming that it didn't happen. That's pretty badass, right? I think that's pretty badass. And I want to see a lot more of it, honestly. I really hope I see a lot more survivors, suing their abusers when it comes to them trying to ruin their life, trying to ruin their career. And that's what survivors get told all the time, right? Is that they're trying to ruin these men, these powerful individuals' career. And they forget all about the survivor's career and how much of their passions, etc., have been ruined after coming forward. And so, round of applause. Power to E. Jean Carroll. And that is it for today. I can't believe this was the second episode. What's this? Yeah, second episode of 3 hours. We can go full screen. Just want to say goodbye to everybody. I want to say goodbye to everyone. It was so nice to see everybody here. How's the chat doing? Just want to say, make sure I give a shout out to everyone. Bye, Juliet, Danielle. Who else is in here? Dominic, I see. A Steven, a Krista, Lilo the Stitch 16. All of you. David Kaplan. Hello, are you going to tell the Jim Carrey story? I'm thinking about it. Also, you should make a 30 seconds to HR shirt. I should. You're so right. I'm so glad, David, you reminded me of that. Oh my God. I think I might next week. I think I might next week actually tell the Jim Carrey story. It's pretty kind of scary though, because whenever we're talking about these people, it's always kind of, I don't know, always a little bit scary. But thank you so much for everyone being here. We did our second episode, 3-hour stream. We really went into it all, and I hope that how we ended it was inspiring. You are all inspiring, and I appreciate all of you. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, share it to somebody. Let's amplify as many survivor-led, centric YouTube creators as humanly possible. We need more of them to tell these stories. And just thank you all so, so much. I'll see you all Sunday for the protest.